Good evening, free enterprise fans. My name is Xenocat. I am joined here in the booth by Guerin for this exciting race, community race of Kain's Redemption Tour. I'm going to get into this very quickly because we have very little time, I believe, before this race starts. We've got John Burkhead up on the top left, Asuka on the top right, Cubs on bottom left, Y2 Sky bottom right. We have our 5 objectives are defend Fabul, Tarazat, Sealed Cave, Golbez, and get Rosa. And the interesting things about these flags is we're only going to have Kain, Cecil, and Rosa. Rosa cannot be in a early spot. And we're not allowed any dupes. How are you doing tonight, Guerin?
Probably better than the runners are going to be doing in a few minutes, depending on where that Rosa sits.
Yeah. And it does look like our runners are off already. That's why I wanted to get through all the basics of the flags. Oh boy.
That was good. Let's see what the starting key item is for this. Ooh, magma key. Very nice.
That is very nice. We can already get underground. So that will do for our runners. Our runners, of course, start with Kain. Cecil is going to be our second character because the flags, I think, try to give you a different character, especially with no dupes on. But with that magma key, we now have access to some gated shops, some higher tier loot, because it is T-Wildish, and a couple of free key item checks in the Feymarch freebie and the Sheila 1 check. So we'll see if any of our runners, and it does look like Asuka and Y2 Sky are headed straight for Eggert, as well as John Burkhead. Cubs is detouring off to Troya first. We'll see what he's doing here. Looks like checking some shops. We did also start with 10 headbands, 10 karate gis, some other gear that is not important.
Yeah, a little spending money at least for this being on. And to answer chat, Sea Hero is not on because it's not really that interesting when you only have these 3 characters in the sea. I mean, Cecil and Kain are both kind of fast, and Rosa can't start, so, you know.
Yeah,
a little bit of a break.
We'll give them a little bit of control over their agility since, they can't ditch any of the characters. There are not going to be enough characters to fill out a 5-person party. So it's not as though they can just get rid of Kain or anything. And Cecil can, I guess, help with the Ordeals fight. Sure, why not?
Possibly Rosa too, depending on if we can get
that's true.
The Rosa in time.
Maybe we find Rosa before we do Ordeals.
Although, if this Feymarch is a free key item that leads to Rosa without too much pain, refund. If someone's already
that would be disappointing. No, we want our runners to work for their Rosa.
Personally, I want the seed to be called, instead of Kain's Redemption Tour, Kain's Pain Train.
Oh boy. The 2 other things we did start with were a Thunderclaw and a Thunder Rod. Kain, Cecil, and Rosa cannot equip either of those items, so we're just going to sell those for money.
There's a light for Cecil.
We have a nuclear monitoring technician as our job dwarf. Thanks, Y2 Sky.
That seems appropriate for C to get very nuclear waste in quick time here.
I mean, no one can cast nuke in the seed except Zeromus, so I don't know. And Wyvern, I suppose.
No, there's a cursed ring in case the agility was a little bit dicey.
That is a very nice find for agility manipulation. Agility manipulation a little less useful than it might otherwise be with only 2 party members. Or well, maybe 3 if we find Rosa. Just because you're tanking a larger you're tanking a larger portion of your party. Although it still could be useful for certain fights.
Well, Kain is cursed anyways, but you can make him a little bit slower.
Yeah, Kain is still quite fast. Cecil is a little fast as well to be cursing, especially once he's turned into a paladin. We did see a light sword come out of one of the boxes in the Feymarch.
I think also in Watery Pass, too.
Ooh, that is very nice. Did not see who was in the Kaipo bed, but it was either Cecil, Kain, or Rosa.
I could have told you that before this week even started.
Yeah, it looks like it was not Rosa's, which is all we care about. We cannot pick up any duplicates, so if it's Cecil or Kain, that Sanderby is just a full heal. And I guess a key item towards our 10 key item experience bonus. But our first key item check, oh my goodness, it's a white shirt.
sad face there. I mean, it'll be nice for Rosa when she shows up, but that could be a
Hey,
while.
Paladin Cecil can wear that too.
Can't we rather put the karate on him we got for free? More damage.
I mean, it's a tiny bit more damage, or you could put the white shirt, which actually has a really solid defense rating on it.
Defense is overrated.
It's like the equivalent of giving him like ice armor for defense. It's very good actually, and defense is quite good. Plus it has undead resistance. Like that's just like, okay, well now Cecil will never die to any of the undead bosses we have. Like that Mylon at the Asura spot. Asura, worth noting, Asura is at Levy. That's not good. We don't like to see that. We do have some Kaipo guards attacking Fabul. I don't know what they're doing here. They're a little bit lost. Kaipo's the other way. You went too far. Must have taken a wrong turn at Damsian.
And the king is helpful and gives us a spoon for our not appearing in the seed.
I mean, that's 5,000 gold.
And it's a key item, I guess, towards that 10.
Sure,
but,
yeah, that too.
Oh, speaking of which, one of the little quirks of this flag set, no sirens in this one. So there is no chance of cracking any eggs or doing any sort of grinds that involve popping a siren.
I believe you could still get them out of boxes, but yeah, you're not going to see them in any of the shops in this seed, unfortunately. Cubs, did you just buy a Fireclaw? Why did you buy a Fireclaw?
Just sold it again, too.
I must have been instinctual and then be like, oh wait, no one can equip this. This item is useless. Asuka is trying to get some cheeky loot out of Sylph Cave.
Yep, we saw some samurai arrows on Brickside, not picking up right now.
I guess Cubs did also complete an objective. We did have to defend Fabul.
Yeah, as part of the Kain Redemption Tour, basically visit all the places that he kind of was rude to people and apologized by having him be on the other side, I guess, this time.
Yeah, you're not going to see a Rosa here on Cecil, or on Hobbs, Cubs. It's just a Cecil on Hobbs. Fighting something that is not pleasant.
Yeah, I mean, it was a check for Golbez, who's one of the objectives here too, so it does make sense to check it just in case.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. I have definitely been burned by skipping Hobbs when I'm like, oh, I know I don't need the character up there. What's the worst that could happen? Oh, wait. That's where D-Mist was.
Yeah, one of those things. Regarding a question in chat of who picked these flags, Jay Brun, who is also racing, what do I get for everybody else? And yeah, he just wanted to be a 3-person show here tonight with Kain and Cecil and Rosa.
Yeah, it does look like the D-Lunars were up on Mount Hobbs. Makes sense, it's a mountain full of undead enemies, so let's put one of the undead bosses there. They fit right in.
Isn't that Ordeals that's the undead one?
Hobbs has some undead too. It's got skeletons. Ordeals is just more full of undead.
It's been a while since I've played Vanilla, so I haven't seen what's actually on Hobbs for real for a while.
There's like skeletons, skulls. I think the red bones can be there. Not Skulgers. I mean, not like the skulls from Evelyn, but like the souls. I think.
This is somewhat rude for first spot in Mount Ordeals.
Yeah. In case you haven't noticed, this party is very light on AoE abilities. We don't have any J items either, so.
I did see a big bomb on some other people's sides who went to the Fate March, but Cubs hasn't been there.
Yeah, and Cubs, I believe, did already use the Zeus Rage he found on the Kaipo guards.
So we're going to see the Dark Wave.
Oh boy! Worth noting, we do see Cure 3 pots for sale in Tomra. Thank goodness. That's going to be our big source of healing until we find Rosa.
Which could be quite a while down there. There was some discussion earlier today of, since Rosa is technically guaranteed to be in the seed, you might get really bad luck and no Cure 3s.
Yeah, fortunately they did show up. We do like that. At least the runners like that. I don't know I'm not going to speak for what chat likes.
And Brick is going to do his Fabul check and also get Sheila 1 out of the way, which has been set up.
Yep.
Someone is attracted to big bombs. That's interesting.
I see what they did there. Anyway, oh no. Hi Valvalis.
Oh no.
Hi, back attack Val.
At least Kain can jump, I guess. This is gonna be nasty.
Yeah, this is really gross. So I hope you liked Dark Knight Cecil.
Hi everyone, my name is Daphis. I'm your restreamer today. I rolled this. Y'all are welcome for the entertainment. I'm going away now, okay, bye.
Sheila 1 just handed over some Artemis arrows, so thanks Sheila. I guess we'll use those as soon as we get a Paladin Cecil or a Rosa. Either or.
Ooh, I don't. Cubs only has 1 life pot. This could get a little bit dicey.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
It's one of those times where not shopping early can really come back to bite you, because there's no life and cure pots like you're normally around.
Yeah, do your shopping for your basics. It's really good. Like, this Valvalis is gross.
This is not going to end well.
No, it is not. And yeah, that is a wipe for Cubs, unfortunately.
And I think give another go.
Oh,
didn't save after Cal either.
Do the dolls, and the dolls are not fast.
This would be a good time to actually nope out of this and come back later.
Yeah, I would probably just be like, I'm gonna go do other things for now. I believe Asuka just peeked the Dwarf 1 boss and found Golbez.
Yep, and is not doing that right now.
Yeah, which is reasonable. We don't really need to do that right now, but it's very good to know where Golbez is, so we don't need to worry about finding Golbez later.
We get our first check of the Antlion Cave, and ooh, is this the right? Yeah, this is the one you don't want to see here.
Oh, hi, Mylon and friends.
It does have the big bombs, so this will go faster than it would for Cubs right now.
Listen, I think Mylon is very justified in this. These 2 random strangers just like showed up in my cave with all my friends. I'm like, he's all wrapped up in like this really cozy looking robe. Like, Mylon just wanted to be left alone.
Okay, but it is invading the Antlion's nest, and it's meaning we can't get any.
Well, no, there's no Antlion here. Antlion's not here. This is Mylon's home. I guess he had a rat tail.
It's called the Antlion Cave. I mean, come on.
Well, everyone knows Antlion doesn't live in the Antlion Cave. Antlion lives on the moon.
And the whole point of the game's plot is that the moon's coming down to the Earth somehow or other.
I guess, yeah, that is true.
Anyways,
gets it. Mylon just wants to sit in the cave with his Snuggie.
Mylon was a few years too early on that trend.
Look, Mylon is a trendsetter, okay?
So when are the undead coming?
I don't know.
Anyways, Y2 Sky has peaked the D-Lunars and is noping out of that.
Yeah, we don't need to fight them.
Yeah, Asuka doing the defense of Fabul and Brick doing the Antlion Cave, so just a bit of retracing steps.
Everyone knows retracing steps, and Cubs is trying to get through this Valvalis. Oh, hey, there's our life pots. They're for sale in Silvera.
It's not a place everyone checks. Even though it has gotten more popular with checking the 3 treasure chests.
Go check it. The shop is right there. Just go check it.
Looks like Y2 Sky is taking a peek over at Eblin Castle to see if there's anything good in there.
I could definitely see this. Maybe we want to open a trap chest, get some good weapons or armor, or maybe armor. Probably weapons, or just grab a grimoire. That's good too.
Yeah, I would think the trap chest will be a reset out right now, just because.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's still a DKC, so.
Yeah, no, we're not going to be doing that. We're going to get the good loot here, though.
Yeah, because unfortunately with this Veil, I mean, your Cecil is kind of offline for quite a while until you can get through it.
Yeah.
Which, you know, White Spear Kain would be great if you can get there.
There's the Moon Veil here in Eblin Castle, so we'll definitely take that. But there's another box. Wonderful, we get to reset.
Mm-hmm.
This is fine.
That was the last flag set.
Well, it applies to this flag set too.
You're not wrong. I thought I was being rude when I put my flag set together, but J-Run's beating me on this one, I think.
Ooh, that is another wipe for Cubs. Kain, I think, got turned to stone, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, he really needs to go and find at least life pots. I mean, he only has 1.
Yeah, it's rough. And John Burkhead's already headed up Mount Ordeals.
He is about to find out this is a bad idea right about now.
I think he might be a little bit better equipped, but we'll see. Y2 Sky still exploring Eblin Castle, finding things that the party can't use.
I think all the trap chests were in the center section. That's kind of unusual.
Wow. Nope, there's one in the left.
I thought he left a chest behind, 3 chests behind on the left.
No, he skipped only 2, I believe. There were only 2 in the middle. And there's the one on the left. So now Y2 Sky knows where all the chests are, can loot around them safely.
I mean, it was just a sign that wasn't worth going back for. Anyways. John has a blizzard for the dolls. That should go down a little faster.
Yeah, that should help get John through this reasonably quickly. I'm not sure that it takes out the back dolls.
Nope.
Yeah, they are... Oh, we have another blizzard. That does 2 of them, but they turned into Calbrena. Wonderful.
And, okay, reset to try that again.
Yeah, we don't want to deal with Calbrena. Oh boy, Y2 Sky found a ninja sword.
Well, that's good for cash.
Yeah.
Another string in case the first one wasn't enough.
We have a life staff. Rosa could use that eventually. But yeah, this has not been a great emblem.
Val, and that's it. Can you imagine that? It's like you have only Kain line till you can get past Val. Ay.
Yeah, ugh. Well, Cubs is through that Valvalis fight. And Asuka has made it through those guards that she's been struggling a little bit with. I don't think she has a great Kain weapon.
It's good to see Cubs get through, because that was a lot of time spent on this, and hopefully it's worth it. It definitely will be for Cecil, but
yes, it is absolutely worth it for the sake of getting Cecil. Though John Burkett and Y2 Sky are on their way up Ordeals.
John is going to take a safety save beforehand, just in case it's rude. Spoiler, it is.
Yes, that was a good idea. Y2 Sky heading to the dolls fight. Cubs is going to get...
Oh, that's important.
I would say that's important, yes. That qualifies.
It's a chance at that Rosa. It's also access to the giant.
It's access to a few more key item checks on the moon. There's a sparkle here.
Of course.
Oh. Oh, good. Oh, good.
Yeah, this.
Wyvern gave us a hug, and now we're all done.
That... Okay, no, hi, I'm back, everybody. Let me turn my mic down just a quick second. Hi, I'm back. Apparently I decided jokes had to happen.
Also, in case anyone was curious, this Ordeals is absolutely not our logical path underground.
Yeah, we have our underground access already.
Well, no, Valvalis and Wyvern were here.
That is fair. Oh, it comes to
It absolutely cannot be our logical underground access.
Cubs is changing the formation, hoping that it's only affecting the front row.
I believe that the way Hug works is it only affects one row, so this should be fine. Otherwise, guess we're looking for an Aegis Shield.
Would Ribbon work or no?
Ribbon would also work. Aegis Shield is just probably easier to find, because it's probably for sale.
John's taking a reset. Ain't got to jump off.
Well, Kain has successfully dodged Wyvern's hug.
Which is good, because apparently it does affect the back row too. Unless that
well, it is... All the characters are in the back row, so it affects the back row.
Ah.
I believe. I'm not sure. Y2 Sky does make it through the dolls. We'll be finding out the amazing news that, oh hey, there's a Valvalis at the back attack. And, oh, there's a Gaia shirt. Asuka just found a Gaia robe. That would be so nice if we had a chance to equip Cecil before that Wyvern fight. Because that also gives it immunity to stone.
John has used a Silk Web to slow Val down a little bit. That's probably gonna help a little bit with getting around these really fun Val attacks.
Yeah. No, I think Cubs had to use a Silk Web on Val as well. She's just nasty.
Okay, Kain survived that. That's good. Oh, didn't survive that one, though.
Yeah. Valvalis is rude. Okay, I am being corrected in chat. Gaia shirt stops Val's raise, but not full on stone. Good to know. It's just gradual petrification. So yeah, you do need a ribbon.
Looks like John is resetting out for the time being, and he'll come back later.
Yeah, it does hurt to not have the Paladin Cecil, but I mean, Val is also very bad.
It's really gonna hurt though if there is a Rosa sitting on the Slinger dais.
Yeah, that would be rough. Maybe we're just looking for life pots and heal pots. I don't know. Starveils are for sale in Baron, and oh my goodness, it's some Baron guards.
A little bit of vanilla there, so okay.
Yeah.
If there's a karate behind those guards, that would be really funny.
Well, oh, that would be funny. We did see that it was not Rosa because it's not allowed to be Rosa in Baron Inn. John has decided to go to Eblin Castle to try and get some power. Y2 Sky has also noped out of Ordeals, I believe, and is headed to the Watery Pass to get some loot.
The only thing really good in the Lunar item shop is coffins. Not too bad.
Those are nice, I guess. Sure, we'll take a few.
Our restreamer is hoping that Rosa is only in the giant. Well, given the way the season's gone so far, I'd say you've got good odds.
Yep.
Alright, Cubs is going to check the altar. As
Oh
possibly
boy.
it's Rat Tail.
Will this be our Rosa?
Refund.
That is our Rosa. Just fight Val, and you get Rosa. It's so easy.
Sure.
All of our other runners, I think, are doing everything they can to avoid ordeals, and it's unfortunately looking like it might be required. There could be a Rosa somewhere else, and there could be a pass available, but the moon is kind of, sort of required.
Well, yeah, I mean, it might be required at this point. We just have to see if there's any other roses in the sea.
Ooh. John just pulled a defense sword out of the Black Cat Lamia chest.
That is a nice thing to see. It's Kain's best weapon early on.
Yeah, that is going to greatly increase his damage output against this Valvalis. Oh boy, Murasame and Cave Value, so good. Hi, Dark Elf. We're just gonna leave. We have no interest in fighting the Dark Elf yet. That will be a lot freer later.
Especially if a crystal sword shows up, then it's going to be really free.
Oh yeah. Dark Elf, I mean, even with a lightsaber, Dark Elf is pretty free.
Nice helmet in the cave, that's very good for defense.
Absolutely.
We have found a holy sword. I mean, it's the
Yeah, we found
it's the budget version, but you know, we have
the
one.
budget holy sword, but it's still a holy sword. It does holy damage. It's decent.
It's like
John's gonna give us our first look at Baron Inn.
we have seen the guardsman's fought him yet. You're right. Cubs is gonna try for the hairdryer chest.
This is gonna punch a little bit, but
It roasts
yeah.
down. Are there hourglasses? Oh, there's coffins. Okay, that's
we do have coffins. They cannot be coffins.
Oh, they don't work though.
Coffins do not work on hair dryers.
I just found this out the other night. I forgot about it already.
Yeah, you cannot use instant death to get through hair dryers. But does want that Artemis bow. Yeah, that makes sense, Cubs. And oh, hi, Water Hag.
You know, Garland here would have been much nicer to see instead of this.
Yeah, it would be nice for it to get a little bit of extra experience, but I mean, we'll take the Water Hag. It's fine.
I wasn't really thinking about the experience much as you have a lot of bosses, not a whole lot of AoE to get rid of them.
Yeah. Well, that Water Hag is down, and we get
Earth Crystal.
a required Earth Crystal. We need that. And that could be a Rosa as well.
The question is, does Brick want to try it before getting Cecil online?
Yeah, that is a tough question. I mean, Brick knows that, or he knows that Val is up at the back attack spot, so knows what getting Cecil online entails. And Rosa can help with that, Val.
Yep, the aim command will get through her whirlwind over there, or anywhere.
Yeah, and just even having a third character would be super useful.
Yep, and then hopefully he saves before then getting Kudui's about to hug.
Yeah. It looks like Asuka is gearing up for Dwarf. This makes sense. Golbez is pretty free, honestly. You can probably outspeed him at this point, and he's going to be able to. And once you get the Star Veils up, she'll be able to just tear through this fight, and the second fight is not nearly as bad.
Yeah, and with only 2 characters, less time lost on Shadow because he won't kill anybody.
Yeah. Oh, we are going to rate the treasury as well.
Ribbon, Defense Sword, Stardust, Power, Light, Party. Is that a White Spear?
Yes, that's our second White Spear out of the treasury. This treasury has been pretty good. It's very max tier 6.
Runex.
Never mind.
Okay.
It's okay. We got a Dragoon Spear. That's something. That was a very Kain out of 10. Very much Kain out of 10. Not a whole lot.
How does Kain rate on a scale of 1 to 10?
I don't know. Like a solid 7. Maybe an 8.
Given his role as Mr. Average, I mean, 7's probably closer than 8.
Yeah. And yeah, we're going with Ribbon, Power Shirt, Kain. I think that will get through Valvalis. And once John's through Valvalis, that ribbon will make Kain immune to Wyvern's Hug.
Outstanding.
Oh my gosh. Why does Sky get punched by Valvalis for 7 damage when Kain had 8 HP? If Val hadn't gone back into her spin there, that could have been so clutch. And Asuka is using Golbez's powerful spell casting ability here to tear through Golbez's HP.
Yep, does not care that Cecil is down because the HP experience is going to matter when it comes to Paladin.
Yeah, it doesn't affect anything for Cecil. Cecil's get reset as soon as you complete Ordeals. And DKC is not a worthwhile party member to level up at all. He's really bad.
Yes, hopefully nobody comes up with the DKC flag set where we never turn him into a Paladin. That would just be kind of... ugh.
Yeah, DKC is pretty terrible.
John had used a Moonveil on Kain, so this Kain only has to worry about the weak. Won't have to worry about the hits at all.
I mean, is weak even a concern at that point? And weak also is reflectable. And Kain has a ribbon, so he can't be raid. So Kain is, I think, literally invincible here. And we found Odin at Dwarf 2. That's not pleasant.
And the Odin is pretty speedy here. That's 3 attacks.
Yeah, this spot's pretty fast. And I don't think we're going to get a jump over this, and I'm not sure Kain is going to survive. He did.
I did survive.
This spot does have low magic, granted. Like, I knew that.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's going so fast that you may get another Odin before getting off Cure 2 here.
Or we may have just jumped the Odin. No, we did not.
No.
Okay. You know, we're gone. John is through Valvalis, which is great. Cubs is about to get...
safety save, just in case.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Good safety save. Cubs has just received his defense sword. Wonderful. Kain can have a better weapon. John's gonna get the great news that, hey, so glad you have a ribbon. And we'll have a Paladin and a Darkness Crystal, which is great.
Yeah, Oscar would have been fine with that. Kain had been at full health before going in, but just a little bit low, and
well, it's the levels that Kain got from Golbez, really, because Kain only comes into this with like 300 hit points and took just a little bit of damage from Odin's punches.
And John is through Ordeals. If he checks the Darkness Crystal right away, we'll find out it was well worth it.
And there is an Excal in the Mad Ogre's chest, so already we have a Holy Sword.
Yep, and the
I'm sure we'd like a better one. But Excal's great. We take an Excal.
Everybody wants crystal swords, but I'm told that they need to be sold for some reason. Not quite sure why, but Chad is telling me that Golbez takes ballet. Okay. He has a dragon for a snake and for a dance partner.
Interesting. Oh dear. Asuka has lost the 50-50. Unfortunately, getting through Golbez is a 50-50, and you need Golbez to cast his virus on Cecil. Otherwise, you just lose.
It seems on brand with the amazing scene we had so far, as far as where all these bosses have been placed.
Yes. Also, I do love this dwarf castle. It's Golbez and his sister Odin. They're together.
Look, they could have rolled all the non-garbage seeds out of the pool, and the Deaths would still have found one of them at some point to roll for tonight, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we gave you a Rosa on the Lunar Dais. Like, this is fine. You don't have to do the Giant. Golbez isn't even up there. Giant can only be required at this point if D-Mist is in the Giant, which is possible.
And only if it's holding exactly the Luca key.
Yes, that is true. We are a Luca key away from no mode in the booth. Well, there is a Crystal Sword in Evelyn Castle, as it turns out. So great. Cub's getting rewarded for sticking around.
This is a very disappointing Evelyn Castle.
I mean, it's fine. We're getting all the good swords. I am curious to see if John will just leave with the Excal, because he might not value getting that crystal sword as highly at this point, with access to the Darkness Crystal, with access to some other things. Cubs is tearing through the Baron Inn now. I expect he'll be able to get through all these checks very quickly.
John is not done, so we'll probably find that crystal sword.
Yeah, a little behind on the like straight line path compared to maybe John, but honestly not that far behind. And we'll be able to clear through things much faster. I guess it all depends on where this Luca key is.
Well, if I was behind a very long chain so that we, yeah, we got a little bit of time with all the objectives and doing a little bit of a tour. Otherwise, we're going to have to watch for the players try to grind up to Z levels or try 100 strats or something like that. It's going to be a little bit...
Yeah. White guy's raising the whale, so we'll find out about Rosa. John's opted not to raise the whale yet, which is not great, but we'll be fine.
I don't think
Chat is
adamant
hoping
armors
for
are
adamant
on.
armors on the moon, but adamant armors are off. There's no adamant armors. You can't spike one on the moon.
Unfortunately, we don't have a flag to turn crystal swords off yet, but maybe in the future.
Yeah, so we're not going to be seeing an adamant armor unless you do pink puffs, and we're not going to get sirens in a shop, so it's very unlikely we see those. Cubs is going to go raid the treasury. John does have a crystal sword now, and I think is headed, yeah, looks like straight for the Tower of Zot.
Yeah, we'll see if there is a Rosa hiding in one of the two spots here. Otherwise, one of the two gents is either going to be tying up the other one, or they're going to be tying up themselves.
Yeah, we'll see. Asuka is through this Golbez again. Hopefully this time has better luck against Odin. White Sky's about to find out about that Rose is on the moon. She was just taking a nap up here. Cubs is gonna follow John right up the Tower of Zot. So despite their very divergent early game routes, they've actually converged quite a bit, although Cubs has not done Antlion.
Yeah, it might be a thing if that rat tail is required somewhere down the chain, but we don't know yet because the hook has not been found.
Yeah, we'll see. Looks like Asuka is gearing up for Thunderstruck strats against this Odin. Just figures it's probably easier to just sit here and use the Zeus Rage when the time is right. Since Kain can survive these Zandhetsikins anyway.
Almost
And
simultaneous with John and Cubs on this Pale Dim.
Hopefully they both use their Dragoon Lance that they have.
Cecil, no, on John's side. So we are going to get some Doots.
Yep, but Kain, John's putting Kain to good use here.
Yep,
and John does get through it just a little bit faster. Taking the time to cast Berserk is not worth it when you kill it in one more hit.
And we have a Cecilin's first slot of Zots, so that's...
Well, that's not what we're looking for. Asuka is through Odin. What will this dwarf castle give us?
Not vanilla. Not vanilla.
There is a Rosa in Zot. John has found a Rosa. She's in her vanilla location here.
Alright, so we had more than one Rosa option. Which I guess means that technically you could have gotten her without going through that Val.
You could have. Absolutely. And we do get the hook out of Dwarf Castle. And oh my goodness, this is completely free.
Yeah, so we're just gonna, let's see, they're gonna wait for the cutscene? No, they're gonna go right through it with the weapons.
No, I would wait for the cutscene. We have a Crystal Sword Cecil.
Asuka's probably going to check that rat tail straight away, if there's anything good behind it.
Yeah, may as well check on this. We might check out the hook route as well, see if there's a Rosa down there. Asuka's not found her Rosa yet. I don't believe.
But meanwhile, good news for Brick and Cubs, they now have exit, so that'll make some of these explorations a little bit faster in case
I mean, I think Cubs already had exit on Cecil.
It might be true, but now Rosa has it too.
I suppose. And we do get a pan, so that's nice, I guess. So, some easy checks for a potential Luca key.
Yes, two of them in this case. We've already seen that Sheila 1 is nothing.
Yeah. Y2 Sky is now tearing through Eblin Castle to get the big shiny stick. We'll see if he's satisfied with the Excal or goes for the Crystal Sword.
Cubs has found a vanilla D-Mist.
Oh my goodness. This is too much vanilla. I guess we can go check what D-Mist has.
Yep, we're gonna move around to the other side just in case it's a cheeky package. Kind of surprising that Burning Mist is not one of the objectives here, but I guess on a redemption tour you probably want to burn down the village you burned down the first time.
Didn't do anything wrong with the Burning Mist cutscene. Kain was fully willing to betray the rest of the Baron for Cecil and Mist, and oh my goodness, that's a vanilla twin harp, technically. Because the actual vanilla harp location is what that D-Mist check replaces, so...
And it looks like John has actually gone the same way. He's going to find the same vanilla D-Mist. Now we might get some music, and it's going to be really interesting to see if this is required or basically a rabbit hole.
Cubs is not seeing Golbez, so we're going to check the waterfall. That's not Golbez, in fact.
It'd be really
I think Kain suggests that they take care of Rydia, and then Cecil's like, no, that's not right, and Kain's like, okay, I'm with you. You're right. It's not... Kain does not sincerely believe that they should destroy... that they were supposed to destroy the village Mist.
Yeah, I was about to jump in here with listen here. Kain was testing Cecil's he's like, are you cool with this? Because I will go with... Kain is ride or die. Let's be real here.
Kain is basically saying, are you sure you want to do this? I will follow, I will stick by your side, Cecil, but I'm not going to, but I want to make sure you're okay with what we're doing. Also, Cecil is also in the waterfall.
Yeah, Kain,
but not the character Cecil.
Yo, Cecil, we doing this? No? Yo, bet. Let's save the girl, go defeat Baron. But no, Kain is the definition of ride or die. Look, just because he's eyeing the girl doesn't mean anything, but he's your ride or die bestie. I had to yell at chat a little bit there, but...
I do like this theory. Kain doesn't want Rosa. Kain wants Cecil. Yes, please. Cubs has gone back for Antlion now. We'll get that rat tail. And John Burka did, I think, also check that D-Mist and find that twin harp and is now headed for Dwarf Castle.
Yeah, so right now we have music available, but it's getting faded. Currently,
yeah, I mean...
Harp Faders Anonymous is back online again.
I don't think that going for the twin harp is a great play at this point. We've got access to the moon already. We've got access to the entire underground. We've got Dwarf Castle here with our boss hunt.
And watch Luka Kibi behind this harp.
I mean, that would be amazing. I would love it, but...
Yeah, just a Cecil here on the hook route, and either a Ruby or an Elements is going to be sitting at the second spot.
Can we have it be harp into Tower Key, into Baron Key, into Luka Key at the basement, actually?
Sure, go nuts.
Let's do all of that. Cubs is finally going underground, by the way. Oh, the Baron Key's at the Rat Tail. Boo. It has been ruined. Because Asuka did turn that in.
Yeah, I think there's nothing else really gating wise that we can.
Yeah, the only other
add
item
there.
that's out there is the tower key. Since there's no cheeky demist anymore because vanilla demist ruined that.
Hey, if nobody had checked, it would have been cheeky.
This is true. It still could be cheeky. Asuka and Y2 Sky have not checked it. Golbez also does not like crystal swords, by the way.
Can't imagine why.
But yeah, John Burkhead will be our first runner at 4 objectives. Complete. Just needs to find that Luca key now for go mode for him.
Yep, and so far we have not seen it on anybody's stream, so any guesses in chat as to where it's going to be, other than our lovely theories over here for Pain?
We'll see. Cubs is going to go ahead and collect the white shirt. We'll see where he goes after that. I expect Cubs is probably going to run the pan to get all those checks taken care of.
It would make sense because he has all 3 to do for Sheila 1, 2, and the rest.
Yeah. John is about to get his hook, which might drive him to turn in the rat tail, but with the pan in hand, I would be more inclined to go take care of the pan checks while you're down here, and then maybe turn in the rat tail after that.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense because there's more pan checks than there are red tail checks.
Yeah, and you're already down in the underground. You may as well take care of the pan, since that takes you back. Like, you may as well go run through Sylph Cave and then set up the extra checks for the overworld.
And looks like that's what John's going to do, heading straight to the Sylph Cave.
Not interested in taking on the Fame Arch bosses just yet. We're going to head over to Sylph Cave. We do find hourglasses and Bacchus wine in Cave Eblin, so that's nice.
It is nice, even though Rosa will know Berserk once Asuka finds Rosa. I mean, you know.
Hey, freeing up Rosa to like cast Blink instead is great.
Yeah, although if an Avenger shows up, that could be a little bit moot.
Yeah. Looks like Cubs is going to use cover strats to take care of Asura here.
John is bonk Yang on the head and gets an apple for his troubles.
Wonderful. Thanks, Sylphs.
Dr. Sylph, the patient is Yang, not Cecil.
No, they want to make sure that Cecil goes away, because an apple a day keeps the doctors away.
But since when is Cecil a doctor? He cuts things up.
Well, no. They're giving him the apple so that he stays away from them. Because if they give Cecil the apple, then it'll keep the Sylphs away.
Yeah, I think I agree with chat with that emote there. Oh my. Anyways.
It's a very big brain play.
Asuka must have found a siren.
Asuka found a siren in a box and is taking care of that.
I'll get Kain some nice levels. Unfortunately, nobody else.
Yeah, but I mean, Cecil doesn't need them. Not until he's a paladin.
Yeah,
and the one problem with Cubs' strategy right now is Cure 4 is a thing that exists.
He does have Star Veils. He could throw some Star Veils, can he?
Yeah, but he has not. Because if you throw Star Veils, then Cure 4 will be reflected and it will break your cover. Because it will heal someone, and there is no way that anyone but Cecil survives a punch here. This is the Leviathan spot.
Yeah,
if Rosa or Kain were to actually take a punch, they are on the floor.
I want to buy Heroine Robe.
It's just a little bit of a rough situation. Looks like John Burka did get the package from Sheila too, which is, I guess, a thing.
One more key item on the way to 10.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Yet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9.
The Cubs does get through that Asura fight. We'll see what the reward is, if that was worth it. No, that was not worth it. The Fey March is a waste of time. I can't believe we spent time fighting that boss for a cat claw.
I was gonna go right and check the Island Z sitting right next door.
That makes sense. Mylon Z is pretty free. John did get the Baron key out of the Rat Tail turn-in, which does bring him up to 10 key items now, so all of his experience will be doubled for the rest of the seed.
Yep. No slingshot for Rosa, unfortunately, because we don't have 5 members in the party.
No,
so
but
at least speed it up.
Yeah, but one doubling is probably enough.
Ooh, and Cecil goes down, so...
Ooh, yeah. And, I mean, we didn't save after Asura, but that's also okay, because...
Yeah, I mean, I understand why you went right into it, because, you know, obviously it's something you need
We
to keep,
don't care about the cat claw.
You might have cared a little about the experience.
We'll be fine.
John is buying a whole lot of Bacchus and Hourglasses.
Yeah, I mean, may as well. This is what you spend your money on. There's no sirens to buy. Get all the Bacchus and Hourglasses that you can. Get that heroin robe, yes please.
I mean, you don't need to buy any weapons for Cecil or Kain at this point. I mean, armor limited, so yeah, spend it on this stuff.
Absolutely. We can't use the cat claw to purchase a crystal sword because the crystal swords aren't for sale. They are not allowed to be in shops.
This is not SMS.
Also, I would like to point out Asuka has been following the memes and has given Kain 30 MP because Kain is a mage, as we all know, and needs MP to cast his spells.
Yeah, those MP are going to weigh him down when on his jumps.
It's fine. I still think Kain should be allowed to cast Meteor, but like only Meteor, and he should still not keep any MP growth. You have to give him 10 Soma drops if you want to have him cast Meteor. And it's not going to be a powerful Meteor, because Kain's wisdom stat is absolutely abysmal.
You know, given what Kain's script in the game, I mean, having Charm would be kind of the funny one.
That would be funny as well. And it does look like the Fey March was a waste of time. Oh boy.
Which it tends to be a lot of the time. It's either hit or miss.
This is true.
It is a miss.
John Burkhead looks like is going to go to the moon to get some levels. That is a very legitimate play. Let's go to the moon, get a bunch of levels, and tear through everything else. I mean, we're leaving behind, what, the Fey March, Baron Castle, and the Twin Harp for him. All of those are, and Keyless Tower, I guess. All of those are kind of long, not super attractive checks.
And meanwhile, here with the hairdryer chest, since he has 10 key items,
yeah, that's a pretty sizable amount of experience.
Zerk up the Cecil and do the life glitch, and you can get about 100,000 experience out of this.
Y2 Sky is fighting armadillos. Oh, Y2 Sky is knocking Kain over for Golbez. I see. That makes sense.
You know I'm getting mind controlled by Golbez again, so this makes total sense.
Yeah, we don't want... We definitely do not want Kain to be taken over by Golbez. We trust Cecil and Rosa. They're immune to his mind control.
Are we sure? I mean, the After Years kind of calls that into doubt a little bit.
We think they are. We hope they are. I mean, well, Cecil at least. Maybe not. Well, although that's not Golbez's mind control.
I don't think mind control discriminates in terms of who's casting it.
It might be a different form of mind control. You don't know.
Are there more than one mind control script in the game?
I mean, I don't know. They don't explain the lore of the long-term mind control. Charm doesn't last at the end of a battle, so clearly it's not the charm status.
Ooh, missed that life glitch, unfortunately.
Oh well. So because cleaning up Baron Inn now gets the Earth Crystal. I'll probably be rerouting into Baron Castle here, I would expect, having the Baron Key already.
Makes sense, and would be hoping for a Rosa in this spot too, just because that would be really, really nice. On is through.
Yeah.
It's a useless Bahamut out of that chest.
Oh boy, we love Bahamut. Hey, I mean, that's like, what, 42,000 gold? That's not useless.
What's he gonna spend? He's already bought all the Bacchus and all of the hourglasses.
This is fair. I mean, maybe you want a strength ring. I don't know. I don't control your life. Maybe you want to buy a...
You can also buy 99 carats. I mean, you know, buy anything.
What if I want a silent staff for Rosa? I don't know.
You've got a life staff.
Shh. What if we forge and then we can buy Zeus gauntlets?
If you forge, you're going to be able to sell whatever that is, so, you know.
Are we?
Well, an next
what if that's doesn't sell for enough to cover a whole Zeus gauntlet? You need extra money for the rest of the cover of that Zeus gauntlet, and the second Zeus gauntlet, because you need one for Kain too. And we need a power shirt, one more power shirt still. Like, there's plenty of stuff to buy. And we need a crystal ring for Rosa. See, there's so many things we need. Anyway, Cubs Roll has found Dark Elf, and Dark Elf is going to have a very bad day.
Yeah, not strong to crystal swords over there.
Oh, yes, chat. Thank you, chat. We also need Soma drops for Kain. This is true. We need to stock up on all the Soma drops for Kain.
Meanwhile, John is heading into the LST. Is going to give us a check at the mirror altar. This is first time we're going to see that.
Yeah, it looks like it doesn't believe in the value at Cave Bahamut. Which it turns out there wasn't really value at Cave Bahamut. I mean, the crystal ring's nice, I guess. Now Cubs won't have to buy that crystal ring.
It's going right on Rosa, so she'll get a little bit faster.
Hi, Kainazo. Kainazo's a fun fight.
Sure. I'm not really sure if this is what he wanted to see there, because I don't think there is anything like Thor Rages to help out with that.
No, there is not. At least not right now. So we might just go straight to the bottom of the moon. That is fine once we get some levels, but for now it's a little bit rough.
Yeah, although Rosa does have some levels, but we kind of vulnerable dropping to that wave.
Yeah, no, we need enough levels to actually survive the wave, which isn't going to be a problem if we can get through other things on the moon.
Well, there are 4 more chances for either rudeness or happiness, so we'll see how it goes.
I mean, I don't really think everything on the moon can be that rude at this point. I think there's going to be something this party can get through. We're already up in like the low mid 30s for Cecil and Kain. Rosa needs a few more levels, but you can get away with a lot.
They might be different things between rudeness and happiness, between whether it's the viewer or the player, but it can't be really both at the same time.
This is true.
Make John regret using the Moon Veil. Innocent question over whether he realizes Kain isn't the anchor in his current location.
Yeah, I think because of the starting Kain guaranteed, it might have tricked him into thinking, hey, maybe Kain's my hero. He's probably my anchor. And no, see, hero is not on. The anchor is whoever's in the middle slot, or in the highest priority slot.
With the tournament and the last flag set, this is the first time in a long time the starting character is not the hero.
Yeah, we've had a lot of C hero.
Cubs is trying that Kainazo down there. Cecil is zerked up, so
Yep, I don't think he's... Oh, he survived the wave! Oh my goodness.
That'll get through.
I think this Cecil is going to survive. John Burkett has found the Dark Imps. This is amazing.
Yeah, this is free and a good chance for a lot of levels.
Yes, this is so many levels. And yeah, Cubs is through Kainazo. We will see what the reward is for defeating Kainazo. It is...
Ooh,
that's the required key. That is not go mode for Cubs because Cubs doesn't know where Golbez is.
Question is, does Cubs keep fading the Dwarf Castle?
Honest, I kind of expect him to. I expect him to at least face check the rest of this moon, and then it's just a matter of when does John get back up to that Kainazo to take it out.
Cubs is not going to face check the rest of this moon.
Ooh, Cubs is heading back. Maybe he does know about the Golbez.
Did he take?
Or we might just be doing the sealed cave just in case Golbez is down there.
Oh, that's true. If Golbez was there, it's actually a pretty rude spot for it.
Yeah. John gets a lot of levels out of the Dark Imps. Rose is already up to Cure 4. Dark Imps at Ribbon Room will do that. We get an X-Cal and a Glass Hat, so basically nothing.
Yeah,
but the experience was the real reward.
Yep. Now, hopefully, John doesn't spend too much longer down here because we know the rest of these checks are going to be blanks. Unless there's a pass down here for some reason. But
it's possible. John is continuing to lower Kain's agility. Unfortunately, that will not do anything other than make Kain terrible.
Unless he moves the spot. Meanwhile, Cubs is going to do this. Golbez must have peeked it earlier and seen it.
Yeah, that is go mode. I hope John figures out that it's not C Hero when this count actually expires on people. Because if this was C Hero and Kain was the hero, this count should never expire on Rosa and Cecil, but I believe it will with his current setup. I don't think we have enough people buffering with a Cecil Anchor. Yeah, we don't have enough people buffering, so people are dropping. Hopefully he realizes, wait a minute, Kain cannot be my anchor, there's no way that shouldn't work. Yeah, checking on the agilities. No, the agility should work, but... Also, Cecil was in the Val fight, worth pointing out. So we should really know that C Hero is not on.
You're talking about the Wyvern fight.
The Wyvern fight, yes. Wyvern fight. Cecil was present for the Mirror Room fight.
Well, you know, that was, what, 45 minutes ago?
That was a while ago, that's fair.
Ooh,
and, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We have everyone's favorite alt gauntlet.
And it's not required. Refund.
Yeah, this is not required. I can't believe it. Jathis, how could you? How could you not put the Luca key behind this? Like, you put this in the seed, but then you didn't put anything behind it.
You might have put something behind it. Maybe it's the pass.
This is true. It could be a pass.
Let's see what else could it be. It could also be a power key that's being a little bit cheeky.
Yeah.
Yeah, John is taking this, unfortunately, and it's not going to be anything other than experience.
Yeah, Kain is down. Oh well. Cubs is done with Dwarf. We'll be able to head over to the Sealed Cave to get the last objective done. Fortunately, there is a heal coming up, or a chance to take a break on the Behemoth fight after this first Evil Mask, so hopefully you'll be able to heal up.
Yeah, there's no Avenger on, so should be able to.
Yeah, we'll be... Hopefully takes the time to heal up. And Kain not being the anchor is actually a blessing here, because with a slow anchor, this would be much worse. With Kain at his current agility, this behemoth would be taking all of the turns. But this behemoth's never going to really get a turn. Cecil is too fast.
Yeah, we'll get counterattacks in, but that's not going to be too
but
bad
I
here.
don't think we're ever going to see an actual turn from the behemoth.
Are we going to heal Kain?
Looks like the answer is no.
Cecil's not going to cover him just in case here, but...
Yeah, but yeah, that behemoth never got a single turn. If Kain had been the anchor, the behemoth would have definitely gotten a turn there.
Alright, and now let's see. Cubs is healed up. Let's go down for the Sealed Cave to get his crystal.
Yep, we'll stop by Tomra first, I guess.
Detour.
But yeah, Y2 Sky has fallen down the barren rabbit hole. I don't think this was anything from what Asuka gathered. I did not see if she
actually,
it.
it is the pass. That must.
Oh, it is the pass.
From.
So John is not going to get a pass from this gauntlet. This gauntlet is a waste of time, and we're not getting any of it back. Oh dear. I mean, I guess it's experience.
I mean, he's gonna be definitely well leveled.
This is the grind. We will not need another grind on his side. This will get him all of the levels he needs if he can get through. Rosa has learned white.
That's definitely it. I mean,
I think all we need right now is a Cure 4 to fire. And yeah. There's a Cure 4 just on Rosa to top her off. That will keep her safe from the heat ray. Kain is getting healed because he has a Cursed Ring and Dragoon armor on. Amazing. Kain is fine. Kain won't take any damage. We've got a Dragoon Spear. Let's go. This is amazing. I love it.
Alright, Cubs is gonna give us a check now of what's down here at the Sealed Cave.
Yeah, what is the item in the Sealed Cave?
We don't really care, but it's a tower.
It's the tower key. No one's gonna be doing tower this seed.
Well, someone could do a keyless, but it's kind of late for it now.
Yeah, nah, we're fine. We can just not do keyless tower. We can just not do tower.
Vanilla
And
Evil
another
Wall.
dose of vanilla. Come on. I thought this was a randomizer. We're supposed to have random bosses.
Well, I guess the randomizer got a little bit stuck today on certain things.
Yep. Well,
It's like the McDonald's machine for the ice cream. It's not always repaired right.
that's fair. John Burkhead is done with the grind and gets a crystal sword. Amazing. We don't need that, but thank you. At the very least, that is all of the experience he could ever want. He will have no issues with Zeromus. Cubs, on the other hand, might need to do a bit of a grind to get ready for Zeromus, because Zeromus is a scary boss at these levels.
I guess it depends on how comfortable he feels with 1200, but even then he's probably need at least 1 or 2 fights to get there.
Yeah, John, I think, has still not realized that Kain is not the anchor.
I won't realize it until he gets to Z.
Yeah, probably not. To answer a question in chat, the Luca key is on the Murasame altar.
Yeah, it was Leviathan there. Cubs got good rolls and just survived a wave with the Zerk Cecil to get through with less than 100
was Kain Nazo at the Murasame altar.
Yeah.
Looks like we have Antlion in the Barren basement. Oh my gosh, Antlion is not at home.
Well, the King of Barren went questing, decided to put this in its place, I think it's like getting exotic pets. Cubs is walking out of the sealed cave, not taking any doors on the way out. We have to walk because
honestly, I would very much consider doing a door grind here. Cecil should be able to one-shot them. John gets through this vanilla plague without too much trouble.
Yep, is going to find out that it's a sand ruby.
It's a sand ruby.
You want. That is definitely a sad ruby at this stage of the game.
Yeah, that's just a key item.
Can't even use that because he's already at 10.
Yeah, we'll now be headed over to the Crystal Sword altar, I expect, and then maybe we'll go back to the Mirror altar. Y2 Sky, I am kind of curious what's at this Barren basement. Did take a wipe to this Antlion. Is going back in. Cubs is going to raise the Hoppercraft. I guess once the Hourglasses / Bacchus that are in Eblin, which makes sense. Hopefully knows that there's not sirens in the seed and isn't looking for those.
You never know.
Yeah, Asuka is finishing up Zot, has already done, cleared through most of the early stuff, does still need to go up Ordeals to get the Darkness Crystal for that, to get the Luca key, but has cleared most of the checks available to her at this point. Expect will probably run the pan, and then her choices are down to Ordeals, Keyless Tower, and the Fame Arch, and of those, I think Ordeals is the most likely play, although she might be fading Ordeals.
Yeah, if he faded this long, he might just keep doing it.
Yeah, which would be unfortunate.
Yes, hard required.
There was a Mom Bomb at the Crystal Sword altar. I say was because it's already gone. Oh my goodness, the Lunar Staff.
It's in the right spot.
It is, yeah, it is on the moon. That is a staff that's from the moon. I guess it's a Lunar Staff.
Okay, now save and go back.
Good, we're going back for the Murasame altar. We're gonna heal up first. Which is fine, but yes, go do the Murasame altar. You do want the Murasame altar. Cubs is back on the moon.
This question here is any kind of grind? Is it just your bosses like Ribbon Room or what?
We will see. We know Ribbon Room is a pretty solid grind. With the Dark Teams being there. That Alt Gauntlet is also actually a very, very solid grind, although it is annoying and no one wants to do it.
Not true, because someone did do it.
Well, yes, no, someone did do it, but if you're looking for a grind, it's probably not what you want.
Yeah, but you take what you get. I mean, sirens aren't available.
This is true. John is gearing up for this Kinazo, zerking everyone up. This should be fine. I don't think the Kinazo will survive.
No. Nobody's dropping.
No, yeah, this wave does 1,000 damage to start, and now we're already taking out tons of hit points from Kinazo. Kinazo's gonna run out of hit points before we get another wave, I think.
Yeah, and Rosa has lit arrows, which with the wave up is doing more damage.
Yeah, just a 2x multiplier, so not amazing. Cubs is going to do some lunar subterranean trap chests. We do get another wave for John, but it's not going to hurt nearly as badly as the first one. We've done so much damage, and just like that, Kinazo is gone. This will be Go mode for John Burkhead, our second runner in Go mode, but will not need to do any chests at all to grind. Just needs to get through the sealed cave and get to Zeromus. So we'll see. Cubs has a bit of time. The sealed cave does take a while. It's probably a good 2-3 minutes just to get through the sealed cave, and then John also has to get down the moon. So I would say Cubs has about 5 minutes here to grind up and get ready for Z. John is not going to have any issues with the Zeromus at all. He will not need to grind one bit. He's got tons and tons of levels. Y2 Sky is committed to full clearing the Earth, it looks like. Minus the demist that's hiding at Mist Cave, which Asuka's also faded. Though we know that's just a Twin Harp, and we know that the Twin Harp is not required. I would love to see someone go check that, though.
I'm sure chat would too, but I don't think it's going to happen tonight.
I mean, I know some runners who would check it, but the fact that you have to check the vanilla demist... Yeah, I don't know. We do have a first place finisher off restream. Antidale finished in first place with a time of 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 25 seconds. GG's to Anti.
And also apparently checked the Twin Harp according to what he's saying.
That is wonderful. We love a Twin Harp check.
So anyways, if nobody on chat happens to, if nobody on Restream happens to see it tonight, go check out.
We at least
Kain.
have someone who we can ask. And there is a VOD, I'm sure.
It was not infinite stairs, so that's one out of what, 600 possibilities out of the way.
Yeah, it's not infinite stairs. Cubs is still leveling, it looks like. I'm not sure if he's comfortable yet with the levels for Zeromus.
Getting close by one more chest.
Yeah, we'll see. The Kain agility is the big issue right now, I think. Although, honestly, I'd just be going for Cecil at 28. I wouldn't be going for a Cursed Anchor at this point. John picks up the tower key. Will be, once he gets through this evil wall, we'll just have to walk out of the sealed cave, go get in the lunar whale, walk down the entire moon, and then fight Zeromus, because this is definitely a party that can handle it. Rose has got over 3,000 hit points.
Cubs is done. He's not even doing life glitch on this set of bosses, set of monsters rather, and he's on his way now.
Yeah, doesn't take the X-Cal. We are in the upper 40s. It's probably safe. For John, agility absolutely doesn't matter. Cubs, I think it's still an issue. 18 agility is not great. It looks like we're going to take the curse string off and go with a 30-something agility. Rosa is unfortunately at 27. So we wouldn't want to use her, but we can make her a little bit faster. That works. And yeah, it does look like Cubs is gearing up and getting ready for Zeromus, as John has just finished Evil Wall. And we'll be getting his crystal now.
And it's starting to make a beeline back out of the cave, and she's spent a little more time in that treadmill. Go a little bit faster.
Yeah, this case, it's unfortunately quite a bit of a walk for John, and it does look like Cubs is ready to just charge into Zeromus. Which I think is fair. I think Cubs does have the levels to get through Zeromus. A high roll on an unnerfed Big Bang could still take Rosa down, but otherwise this is pretty safe. Y2 Sky going for Keyless Tower. I kind of love it. We are getting full gambles. It does look like he hasn't done any of the trap chests, so doesn't have that crystal sword. Did just get, I think, an X-Cal.
Which honestly is fine.
It's fine. I guess we can do without the crystal sword that was in Eblin Castle.
Meanwhile, Asuka has decided to go up Mount Ordeals. We'll finally get
we're getting through Mount Ordeals on Asuka's side. We'll be turning that Cecil into a paladin and finding that darkness crystal soon. But also, I believe there's a question that we're supposed to ask around this time, because I'm seeing some flags coming out in chat. I'm sure they're asking us whether... do you pronounce it Z or Z?
Z.
I am also a Z person in most contexts, although for the Mylon variant, it is absolutely Z. You cannot convince me otherwise.
Well, I mean, it is really Zed, but that's just how certain locations would like to pronounce that 26th letter of the alphabet.
No, it's Z unless it's Mylon, and then it's Z.
That's, you know what? I'm gonna be disappointed, but I will let you continue on.
Anyway, I think the real thing we're wondering is we like to shuffle our... We like to randomize things, and we can't move the final boss around. He's too big and scary, so we like to shuffle his sprite a little bit.
So there's one question we like to ask every time, and what is that?
I believe that question is, whose butt are we gonna kick tonight?
And just sort of other little side questions that might come up. Those are always changing, so...
Yeah, I don't know. There's a bunch of them.
And there's a whole wide discussion chat going about how you actually...
Also, is this a vanilla Dr. Luge? I'm sorry, I'm just... Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It turns out the apple that we got did not keep the doctor away.
Speaking of vanilla...
Oh my gosh. This is probably one of the closer sprites that we could possibly get to vanilla. It is Dilamus. But yeah, we're just gonna Zerk up Cecil, Zerk up Kain, just keep Rosa back for healing, have Rosa keep everyone else alive. And this Z fight should be pretty straightforward. The nerf came out, so we're not scared of anyone going down for the from the first Big Bang. Rosa will heal everyone up before we get to any other Big Bangs.
Yep. And John is on his way down. We'll get there in just a minute.
Won't be too far behind. Should be finishing this up pretty soon.
Kaiju Sky gets a pink tail for the Doctor.
I mean, I guess we can turn that in. Sure. Maybe it's a crystal sword. Actually, maybe it's an Avenger. That would be nice.
Is an unnerfed Big Bang that must not have
That's
time
fine.
quite right.
We're fine. Everyone's fine. Rose is just gonna top us all off, and we're gonna get back to business as usual, which is Kain and Cecil going burr. Asuka's stocking up on Thor Rages in Mysidia before going to the moon. What a play. Or maybe we're not going to the moon. Maybe we're staying on the blue planet, I guess. That's fine.
So I think that high roll was on Kain, not Rosa, has gone a little bit sideways.
Yeah. Kain, as it is, Kain is fine. He'll be fine. We're gonna survive this. There are now 2 dealer misses on the screen. The pink tail does turn into an Avenger, so that is kind of nice, I guess.
That will help a little bit.
Yeah. John has put Kain in the center slot, so Kain is actually anchoring again. Amazing. We love to see it.
The anchoring again. It's the first time he's doing it.
Well, he was anchoring presumably at the beginning of the seed. At least I'm pretty sure he had Kain in the middle, back at the very beginning. But there are rocks for Cubs. Only hits Kain. This Zeromus is about to go down.
And there's the
Yep.
shuffle. There we go.
That is the crack boom for Cubs. Cubs has finished first place on Restream, second place overall with an official time of 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 14 seconds. GG's to Cubs, and we'll see about getting him in here for an interview. But while we're waiting, John Burkhead is tearing through the Zeromus fight. Asuka is... Waitu Sky's headed for Cave Value, has finally given up on the blue planet. Asuka's up on the moon as well. This is where they need to be. They just need to get to the Murasame altar. And while our runners are catching up, I also do want to shout out all of our runners tonight. They've been putting on a fantastic show for us, and I want to shout out the rest of the Restream team as well. Dathis on the Restream, and a little bit poking into the comms booth. Fiery Blizzard doing a heck of a job tracking. Oh my goodness. Has been paying better attention to this race than I have. And my wonderful co-commentator, Guerin.
Speaking of pronunciations in different zones, we have rocks for John, so John will be through.
John is using a kamikaze on... Oh, I didn't get the crumble skip. Unfortunate. But it does sound like we might be joined by Cubs.
Yep. Unmute Cubs and you're trying to talk.
Oh, and that's John too. Okay, I mean, both of us close enough together.
That was a seed, yes.
It was, in fact, a seed that happened. Yes. And that's John too. Okay. Y'all took very different routes through like the very beginning, and then you converged right around Zot, and then you diverged again, and it was fantastic.
That
And then you
ordeals,
finished super close together.
that ordeals just became personal at that point. I was not leaving that mountain until Val was dead. And then, of all things in the changing room, a wyvern with hug.
Wyvern just wanted to give you a hug. Wyvern's being nice.
I mean, that was an Ordeals.
It was. Yeah, I made the comment. There was no way Ordeals was gating your underground access.
No.
to the seed.
No, all needed was Golbez at the first spot to really confirm that. That was a, whew, oh lordy! Like after that Ordeals mess, and I was like, all right, okay, well, let's just have fun because there is no way on Earth that we're gonna win this thing. So let's just mess around. And then when darkness came by so early, it was like, oh my god, really, bro? Oh my god.
I might have had I took the hairdryer chest as soon as I got. There was a Bacchus and a glass hat on the moon, and that was enough for the hairdryer chest. And an arty bow, yeah.
Yeah, I took that to get Rosa to blink and berserk, and I had bought a curse string and a drain spear, so my thought was, I'm totally fine. I'm just going to go ahead and because in the hook shop there was Bacchus wine, so I bought 20. I'm like, I'll just Zerk Cecil with a crystal sword and cast Blink with Rosa. I'm the smartest man alive. Thor Rages? What are those? Oh, I don't know. I'll just use my Black Mage to I'll just... Oh, and Kain was at Agility 0 at that point, so he was going first.
Well, Kain,
Actually...
John, when did you... The Sea Hero was not on.
Sea Hero's not on?
No, Kain was not the hero.
Oh.
Cecil was in your mirror room fight.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good point.
Sea Hero was not on.
Yeah.
Kain was not necessarily your anchor.
I am so smart.
I saw it about
SMRT.
Hey, I saw it about 15 minutes in. I just assumed the hero was on.
So did
No,
I.
Hero was not on.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because at one point he wasn't getting turns. I'm like, this
You were
is kind
set
of
up
weird.
so well for your plague fight with that like super low agility Kain, and then the count actually worked because Cecil was in the middle slot.
That's why it didn't work.
Yeah, because Cecil was your anchor.
Huh.
If Kain was your anchor, that absolutely would have worked.
See, behind the scenes here and on camera, you'll see that I'm using Elven Sorrow strats, and for that anyone that knows Elven will know what those specific strats are.
Wait, you muted your mic and didn't realize it was you
Nope.
were talking?
Nope, not that. No. We're muted on purpose. It's a different kind of strat. Wow. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That would have been a lot easier if I had just
With these flags with the theme, it makes you think that heroes.
Yeah,
on,
no,
but
they're super themed, and it would absolutely make sense for it to be Kain Hero, but no, it's not.
Wow, yeah, that would have made life a lot easier. Huh. Whoopsies.
Honestly, I mean, I was sticking to a meme the entire scene with the name. So Kain just got a curse ring and was stuck in the middle of the whole scene. He didn't move. So it was basically power couple at RA1.
Oh, that does make me ask the question, John. Why did Kain move to the middle for Z?
Oh, it's just out of habit. I wanted him to throw the crystal, but then I forgot that with less than 5 characters, it gets a little wonky. But since
it worked because then he was anchoring.
Ta-da! I mean, like, Cubs, did you take the gauntlet? Tell me you did.
No.
There was a gauntlet?
There was a gauntlet at Ogopogo.
Oh, I went top down and bailed. And then walked
John
into
cleared the
Gold Bed.
entire... John cleared the entire bottom of the moon, but did dodge that Fey March that you ended up doing.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a fun... Well, yeah.
Well, Mylon's not so bad, but what was the other one?
Asura.
Asura at Levy.
Already mute with Cecil with a ribbon worked out.
Yeah, it's I still punched a little bit, but
yeah.
I will say, to be fair, the gauntlet made sure that you did not need to grind.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm on restream. Like I paused and I'm like, if this was like a race, like we're leaving right away. It's like
I also really want to shout out the fact that Kane's Dragoon armor and curse ring
with the heat ray. Yeah,
it was like, oh no, Kane's gonna die to the heat ray. Oh wait, Kain
Well,
doesn't care about your heat ray.
Believe it or not, I swear that was actually part of the thought process. Can I read the flags? No. Do I know what his C standard is versus C hero? No. But do I understand the glitch between having curse string and then having some kind of dragoon armor or fire ice armor or something? Yes. I'm John Burkhead. Please follow my channel.
See, I just took those hourglasses from the hook shop and took a few moon boxes on the way down, and that was the entire grind.
Okay, I'd already got my
makes sense
crystals.
if you're not looking for key items still.
Yeah.
Yep, although if you didn't check it, but there were dark imps at the ribbon room, which also would have worked pretty well.
Yeah, that was fun.
I never bought life potions. I had one life potion. I think I found 2 life potions the whole seed, so it's like,
Oh boy.
I'm not really looking to life glitch here.
You know where they were actually?
I'm sure somewhere very easy that I never went
Yeah,
to.
they were hanging out in Silvera.
Yeah, pretty much.
When I turned in the rat tail, I checked.
I didn't bother. All I did with I just went and launched the hovercraft and went straight to hook, and then back to the moon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that
Yeah, I went to the moon with nothing, basically. Top down, straight to Luca, and then walked into Golbez at Dwarf. It's like, well, okay, I guess, sure.
I would have saved. I was going to face check Dwarf too, because you do Zot, and then you can see the second boss. So I was just going to face check, and I was like, oh, there he is. Well, okay, here we go. Man, I would have saved a lot of time if I had known how to anchor. Huh. Oh well.
Oh well.
Thanks for the speed, Dathis.
I was gonna say that Ordeals, anchoring didn't matter. Let's be honest.
No.
Well,
no,
no.
it did not.
No.
That Ordeals was very much hopefully Kain can get through this, and the treasury helped.
Yeah, and I found it. I found a moon veil in Eblin. So, and then I did Baron in on the way there, and then the combination of a ribbon and a moon veil meant
And
it was.
I think a power shirt too. It was.
Yeah, and a defense sword. It was John proof at that point. I was
Yes.
like, okay,
Hey,
okay.
you know what? All those things would have been nice.
Yeah, no, that's what you get if you do Baron in before Ordeals.
You know what? No, I was not leaving that mountain. That woman was going down, and no, that was 10 minutes of my. I earned that.
I'm Cubs. I can do a lit 3 seed, and I can go ahead and get through Val with only a spear, and a dream.
Look, vampires are good. What can I say?
Ooh, where were they for sale? I only had one.
Kaipo?
Oh, that would have been nice. That would have been really helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, what a ridiculous seed.
Yes.
Oh.
I mean, I think between you, we saw everything except Baron, the Twin Harp, and Kiwa's Tower.
Oh, music. Let me get music for you.
Same.
Yeah.
Look, I aim to please.
No one was going to go do those checks because they were long. We did see Baron from some of our other runners. It just led to the pass.
Oh, that would be nice. That's a wash. Ish.
Yeah, does not save time overall.
No, it doesn't.
Signal.
You're almost upset to see it when you have a crystal and a party in the 20s.
Yeah.
Oh man, that yeah. So yeah, I mean, I debated doing Heart for memes. Dathis loves his memes, but I figured between doing the Gauntlet and buying some carrots that I and did Job Dwarf. I felt like that was my
enough. Yeah,
that was enough.
that's very fair. We were hoping that something would be at the Twin Heart, but it was not meant to be.
Look, John, it wouldn't be a race involving you and I if it didn't have something about a
Big
gauntlet at Masamune altar.
or Crystal Sword, right?
Right?
Ooh, DKC3. Oh. That was ridiculous. Well, that was a thing. That was
was.
a thing.
Of all the seeds ever rolled, that was one of them.
It was certainly a seed that existed.
Oh my god. Oh, that was funny.
Of all the seeds ever rolled.
We should let other people talk and do stuff, I guess.
Well, I mean, we don't have anyone else come in yet, so you can stick around if you want.
I don't know. I feel like I need to process what just happened over the past 90 minutes.
We could also let you go.
Food.
Ooh, food. That sounds good. What's for dinner,
Yes.
Cub?
I haven't gotten that far.
I hope you. I was hoping that you were going to say pizza, and then we were going to have a joyful debate between pizza versus not pizza.
Do you have your silverware ready?
I will. You've been in my home, and you know where the silverware drawer is. But you've also had Jersey pizza, and you saw that said silverware was nowhere near the pizza. Oh God! All right, I am gonna bounce. Adaptus, thank you so much. You know I love you. Thanks for comms. Thanks for restream. Thanks for all the things. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will catch you all later.
Yeah, every one of all this was fun. This was a good time. Looking forward to the rest of the couple weeks of this. Take care, all.
All right. See you.
Night and GG.
Bye.
Again. Oh, that was our second place finisher, Cubs, and our third place finisher, John Burkhead. John did finish in third place overall with an official time of 1 hour, 33 minutes, and 49 seconds. We have also had a couple of other finishers in the meantime. Dublard finished in fourth place with a time of 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 11 seconds. And Jay Brunter finished in fifth place with a time of 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 46 seconds. So GG's to them.
And while I've been talking, Asuka and Y2 Sky have been going through the moon and tearing it up.
Yeah, it looks like Y2 Sky did bounce off of the Kainazo, unfortunately. Asuka is working on the bottom of the moon. But at the very least, going through the moon means gaining levels. And both of our runners are past that 10 key item threshold, so they'll be getting quite a few levels here.
It looks like Y2 Sky is going to take some of these behemoths by turning on encounters.
Oh, Y2 Sky has the Luca key. Okay, so yeah, Y2 Sky is just grinding. Which is fine. Gonna take some behemoths because they're worth quite a bit of experience, and would like to get a little bit more HP on Rosa, especially for power couple strats. Looks like. Yeah, there's white on Rosa. We might see a couple more behemoths, but we may not.
Yeah, unfortunately, Asuka's going the wrong way down the moon. Does not have Luca yet, and it's not going to find it this way.
Yeah, there is no Luca key down here at the bottom of the moon, unfortunately. I also did not see what sort of weaponry Asuka has. I mean, Y2 Sky at the very least has an Excal and an Avenger, so will be very well equipped, well enough equipped for the Zeromus fight that he shouldn't have to worry too much about powering through.
It looks like
And yeah, these behemoth fights are a great grind if you just need a little bit of experience. They're each 117,000 experience for the party, and yeah, Y2 Sky is done. And all they do is they are very slow. They have an agility of, I believe, a random number from 1 to 3. For reference, most things on the moon have an agility of like 30 to 40. And they only attack and they counter with a physical attack, but they never use anything other than physical attacks unless you hit them with holy magic.
Interesting question here is Asuka going to raise his Cecil up or leave him down?
I think the way Asuka's playing, Cecil's going to stay down. I think this Cecil is anchoring.
That would be on brand given how the first hour and a half of the seed went.
Yeah, I think this Cecil is going to be essentially useless for her. Y2 Sky is headed towards the sealed cave to tear through that.
And yes, Cecil is staying down, so he'll be the anchor on her end.
Yeah, but she does get a good 333,000 experience out of the Ribbon Room. That's a lot of levels. Rosa didn't even have Cure 3 yet, and now she has Cure 4. Plus, we get an X-Gal and a glass hat to work with as well.
Now that X-Cal is kind of useless given her choice of anchor.
Yeah, but the glass hat is a little bit of extra defense.
Which, helps me be on the way, but not so much on Z itself.
Yeah, Z doesn't use any physical attacks, and the glass hat has no magic defense to it, so it's not very useful for the Zeromus fight. It's actually really interesting in a way because the Zeromus fight's so different from most others' fights where you want physical defense to keep yourself alive, and Blink is such a valuable spell because it gives you immunity to physical attacks for a little bit. Whereas in the Zeromus fight, none of that matters. All of the attacks are magic-based. You want to build up your magic defense as much as you can. And you don't need to worry about setting up blinks around anything. Blink is essentially completely useless.
And we don't get Shell.
No, we do not get Shell. Shell is not in this version of the game.
Like, can't be, just not this flag set.
Indeed. It could be in if we get J spells on. But we do have a 6th place finisher. Microcorks is finished with a time of 1 hour, 49 minutes, and 56 seconds. GG's to him.
Yep, GG. This has been a fairly nasty seed overall, so...
Oh yeah, no, this has been real gross, actually.
Yes, I'm glad I'm actually up here instead of actually running this thing, because I would be running it if I wasn't commentating it.
Gosh, no. I mean, I wouldn't hate running it, but I also, when I play seeds, I don't care about how well I do compared to everyone else. I'm just having fun trying to go fast.
It's good because on a seed like this, that might be how it comes down to. It would be for me after I see that Ordeals imply wipe at least a half dozen times.
I mean, I'm also the person who runs Lit 3 seeds for fun, so...
Everyone has their own idea of fun. It's a thing.
Listen, sometimes it's fun to see if you can kill Flame Dog with an Edward, a Kain, and a Purim with their starting gear at, like, level 15 or so.
I think I would rather have my teeth drilled.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's great.
I will take your word for it, but I am not going to try it myself.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's fun to do like 1200 something damage with a spear and a Dreamer Harp.
Okay, I mean,
like 30, 50 damage at a time. It's great. So fun. Anyway, Y2 Sky is in go mode.
Yep, got the crystal and is on his way.
Yep, he'll be heading actually to Troya to use our pass. The pass offers a shortcut from the Troya pub where the the members club is, the secret club in Troya, where you normally use the pass to open that up. Instead, that door leads directly to the final boss, so we can head through here.
Think about it from the club owner's perspective, that's pretty nasty for people in this club.
Yeah, no, you walk into the club and then you go through the door and then you can never return. You're stranded on the moon.
And since you're not the party, if you're anybody else, you're just basically a Z-snack.
Yeah. No, it's real terrible.
Speaking of terrible, this Kainazu is going down fairly slowly on Asuka's end, just because there's not a whole lot of power behind it, but should get through.
Yeah, and I don't think that Kain is back rogue glitched.
Without a dwarf axe, no. So this is going down very, very slowly.
Yeah, that's definitely not ideal.
Apparently, someone's telling us that Z owns the dancer club down in.
I mean, that would make sense. I mean, like, it makes sense that Z would want to own the club. It seems like he's the person who would want people to go through that door and build up some hype around it. We did have it in a 7th place finisher, Scythe Marshall, finishing with a time of 1 hour 53 minutes and 46 seconds. GG's to him.
GG. Look forward to the commentary in the spoiler channel off of this one.
Oh boy, yeah, this is definitely a seed. Y2 Sky is through the transformation.
To the extent it's a transformation, I mean...
And this is a very fast Zeromus. That Big Bang fired before Rosa got a turn. Rosa's on the ground. I don't think this is going to go well. Yeah,
and
this Zeromus...
Whoa!
I don't think Cursed Ring Kain here is a great idea.
It depends on what the agility actually is.
Kain does have one agility, but you don't have enough other party members. I really am not a fan of an RA1Z fight with only two active like RA1 party members. We're seeing it in action where not necessarily the best idea to have a really, really fast Zeromus when you have a very small party.
Or agility shenanigans.
Yeah. Asuka has found the Luca key, which puts her in go mode. She should be strong enough to handle Zeromus. Maybe. Might need to get a couple more levels.
Still, you have the problem, though, of the fact that she's anchoring with a base level Cecil.
If she's got a Drain Spear, she's fine. Or a Drain Sword, then she's fine. That will knock him down to 8 agility, which should be low enough. It is another RA1 fight, or a Cursed Ring. Any of that will work. I believe she has a Cursed Ring.
Probably. There were several in the
There were several in very available locations. So as long as she can nerf some Big Bangs, she should be fine.
Immediate use of the crystal there to at least get the nerfed Big Bang off. I mean, yeah. Not so much. Thinking a little bit ahead there.
A Blizzard Spear is not ideal for a Zeromus weapon, though. We may want to find something better for Kain. And it looks like Asuka's thinking about that. Because Blizzard Spear Kain is not good.
And that is a bad nuke target on Y2 Sky's side.
Yeah, Rosa was not the person we wanted.
And this Cure 3 does not make it off in time. So that's a reset, because no one else
unfortunately, that's another wipe for Y2 Sky. Yeah, this Z fight this is why I am not a fan of completely taking a character out for the Z fight and doing a Z fight with only 2 people, if you can avoid it. Because it is not safe.
Even with 3, it's not necessarily safe. I mean, Cubs did have a couple close calls there.
Yeah, but this I would rather at this point give up the anchoring when it gets down to a 3-person party and have 3 functional party members who have a chance of surviving a Big Bang than having 2 party members who are functional and an anchor character who is going to be napping the whole fight. unless my two functional characters are quite overleveled. Yeah, I don't think Y2 Sky is thinking Kain here. I think Y2 Sky has just chosen Kain to anchor for the seed. And it looks like Asuka is looking for a better weapon in a shop, which we might, I mean, she might find a Gungnir, but the real good weapons are hanging out in the Troya Treasury. There's a Dragoon Lance and White Spears in there.
Yeah, I mean, that's free. It only takes a minute to check it. That would be a great thing to do.
Yeah, and it's right next to her Zeromus fight once she gets through the sealed cave.
And Kain will just drop out of the equation altogether on Y2 Skies.
I mean, that nerfed, so it's okay. We will take it. There's no Gungnirs in that shop. The Gungnir Spears are not necessarily guaranteed available. So I think in Asuka's place, if I know that I have a treasury available to me, I'm raiding that.
I wonder if
I'm looting Eblin Castle.
So long ago at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. But with a lot of, I just think it's hard to avoid the very high tier, high loot areas at this point, with still only having a Blizzard Spear for Kain.
There is a
Gungnir there, but it looks like we are buying a Drain Sword. I don't think she has an Avenger, though. So maybe we're going Drain Sword Bacchus strats? It's not ideal.
Yeah, that seems like it's gonna be risky with only 2 characters going into it, too.
Well, Kain has enough hit points that he'll survive. It's just a little bit obnoxious with having to reuse the Bacchus and get Kain going, but she does have quite a few Bacchus wines.
Still going to see if there's more good stuff in the shops.
Yeah, I mean, she's not going to be able to buy an Avenger. That would not be available in a shop anywhere. You'd have to find it naturally. Which we know there is one on the Pink Tail, but Asuka doesn't know that.
And doesn't have the pink tail anyway, so it's not even really a consideration.
Yeah, it's not something she's even thinking about. But the reason you would want the Avenger is that every time Zeromus uses Black Hole, you would have to reuse a Bacchus wine on Kain to keep him swinging, and it's not feasible to keep doing that. Because that's essentially, he has to waste a turn reapplying his Berserk status.
We always see rocks on Y2 Sky's side, so is going to get through.
Yeah, he has made it through the hard part of the fight. He'll be across the finish line shortly.
And there's the shake.
Yep, there is the crumble. GG's to Y2 Sky, finishing this race with an official time of 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 51 seconds in 8th place. It looks like Y2 Sky is not going to be joining us for an interview, but get your GGs out for him anyway. He put on a great show for us. And let's see what Asuka is. I think Asuka maybe is gearing up for the sealed cave.
That would seem to be the thing to do here.
I mean, she does need to do the sealed cave no matter what. It would be nice to have something better than a Blizzard Spear. I think she might have a Gungnir now. I'm not sure. There will be at least a bit of experience from this evil wall.
Maybe might check a chest or two down here. I mean, none of the chests themselves are trapped, There's a couple
we
on the way.
could fight some doors actually as a grind. That wouldn't be completely out of the question.
Yep, it's a little bit dicey with only 2 characters being functional, as in the other thing, but could work.
Yeah. If she had the ribbon from the treasury, I'd feel much better about it. But without a ribbon, it's a little bit of a big ask.
Taking a pause.
Yep. Yeah, maybe just needed a stretch or something. Is continuing though. Through the sealed cave.
Yep, not taking any chests on the way.
No. I don't think there's really a reason to. The sealed cave doesn't have a high enough average tier of loot to be worth looting. It's a pretty poor location on, I think, any flag set except maybe a push B flag set if you get a Luca key early and a magma key early. Well, not a magma key because you can get underground without it on push B, but if you get an early Luca key and can get in here, it's an okay place to loot, especially since you can grab the key item without having to fight the boss.
Yes, just have to make sure you time your jump right and not jump on the wrong tile.
Indeed, but yep, she is saving at the save point, getting ready to face down what we know is a vanilla evil wall. Which shouldn't be too much of a challenge for her. Evil Wall's big gimmick is that it's fast. It's not really particularly punchy. We've got pretty good gear. We've got more hit points than you would normally have at this point in the game. We do get a tower key. Not that
The
face that.
The only danger would be if for some reason this evil wall is so fast that it gets to crush stage.
Which might be a concern if our damage output isn't good enough.
Well, the Kain's weapon is not the greatest. It's not going to be nothing, but let's see how this goes.
Yeah, Kain is swinging away. Evil Wall is very fast here. Kain does have the Drain Sword now. Cecil's going to burn a Grimoire, just to see if we can get a little bit of extra damage. The Drain Sword is not great on Kain. It doesn't really do that much damage, and it does slow him down and reduce his strength a bit, so it's not fantastic. But it does mean Kain is probably not going to die. We did roll a Leviathan on the Grimoire, which is nice.
Yep, there's a couple thousand of extra damage there.
And we absolutely take that. With Kain only doing about 500.
Yep, and Rose is going to take out the Cecil just to keep the anchoring in place.
Yeah, we don't really... At this point, you're kind of committed to Anchor Cecil. We don't really want him getting levels. Thank you, Evil Wall.
Helps out, okay.
Kain is going to make sure that he never takes any damage. Rosa, we might actually Zerk up as well.
Just yeah, anything
get a little
else
extra damage in here.
I just switched to the samurai arrows instead of the ice, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's fine. I think we'll get through this before Evil Wall gets to crush phase.
He needs to work out more at the gym. This is getting a little bit slow here.
Yeah. Not going to be a very fast fight, but it is a pretty safe fight. We are slowly but surely whittling down Evil Wall's hit points.
Now with both of them zerked up, it's only taking one hit in between their two hits.
Yeah, they're gonna. I think they're gonna win the damage race. This spot only has 19,000 hit points. It's not a ridiculously large pile. So they're both hitting for over 500 apiece pretty consistently. There's not that many. There can't be that many hit points left at this location.
Well,
I think we got a
Restart is
couple more
little hard,
turns.
but-
I think we still got a couple more turns, and it's really got to be low at this point. I'm kind of surprised it's not dead already, honestly. Especially with that 2,000 extra from the Leviathan. The other good news is it does slow down a little bit once it gets to crush phase, so at least it's not chaining.
Which is good, because
But,
it finally got
but it's gone. We don't have crush phase. It's okay. We made it through. We get a level up for Kain and Rosa just to make them a little bit stronger. That's the crystal for Asuka. We'll see if she opts to get more experience or get more gear, or if she just decides to go straight for Zeromus.
at the same time, I mean, I don't know if we mentioned her naming scheme earlier, but you know, it is a good naming scheme there for Kain and Cecil in the seed.
Yep. Well, Kain is named after our wonderful restreamer. Cecil is overrated, which is evidenced by her choices with what she's done with him. And Rosa's name is Porum, because Porum is the best girl. I'm sorry, it's true. If you know, you know. Porum is the dodge queen. She dodges everything. It's great. Like, everyone, like, on paper, Porum is worse than Rosa. Absolutely. But somehow, Porum is always way better at dodging, at getting good magic evade rolls. I don't know why. It shouldn't be that way statistically, but that's the way it works.
Real question is, can she dodge newspapers?
Yes. Her dodge queen abilities apply to everything.
So in other words, if we want to do things that are really kind of crazy and frowned upon, get Porum to do them.
Yes. Fortunately, Porum doesn't do that in her personality. She's not very much of a rebel. That's more of Palom's domain.
Yes, but remember, Porum is being controlled by the racers in this case, and racers have less compunction about that sort of stuff. Also, gonna disagree with chat. Rydia is not a better white mage than either of the two of those.
I think you're referring to Rydia as the best girl, not the best white mage. Which, yeah, maybe. I think Porum is better, but Rydia can be great.
Rydia really shines on flags where Win is on, and there's access to Bahamut guaranteed fairly early on, as we had in one of our flag sets in this previous tournament.
She also really does well when you have to do trap chests, because it's a lot more. You're skewed a lot more towards AOE damage rather than single targets. Also, Bahamut is just an amazing spell, and unfortunately Zeromus is not a great boss for Rydia specifically. She's a little bit of a liability in the Zeromus fight, but she's absolutely wonderful for almost any other fight.
It kind of depends if she has nuke or not.
Well, I mean, if she has nuke, she can contribute, but unfortunately her stats are not great compared to Palom's, so her nukes are not nearly as powerful as Palom's.
This is the part where we mentioned that the program was never intended to use Palom there, so they kind of really didn't tune that.
Yeah, they didn't really tune it. As a result, I believe at the level, if we take Rydia at level 50 when she learns Nuke, Palom at level 52 when he learns Nuke, which is less experience, so it's fair, I think. And Fusoya at level 50, whatever level, because Fu doesn't gain any stats. And you compare their wisdom stats. Fu's wisdom stat is, I think, like 45 or 40 or something. Rydia's is like 10 points higher, and Palom's is 10 points higher than Rydia's. Fu is supposed to be a kind of mediocre mage that is cool because he has access to the spells, but he's not supposed to be super good at casting them. Rydia is better at casting them, but is more balanced. Palom is very, very, very good.
It's actually kind of amazing that they programmed him all the way up to Nuke, because in the vanilla game, who would ever actually level him that far?
I think they made Palom and Porum and gave them like baseline white and black mage like spell lists just for the sake of like being like, oh, this is when you would probably learn all these spells, and then they were like used those as templates to work off of when looking at Rydia and Rosa, and adjusted things for balance on those two as necessary.
Quake especially.
Yeah, no, Quake got adjusted up about 20 levels because Quake is super powerful. But they didn't really need to balance the spells on Palom and Porum because you don't get to use them for that much of the game. I don't think... I mean, I know I never got Quake on Palom casually.
No, I mean, it is actually quite a bit of a step up for him.
Yeah. Like, I got Virus maybe casually, but never Quake. Anyway, Asuka's in the Z fight now. Looks like we're preparing to set up so Cecil tosses the crystal because he's kind of useless otherwise.
Well, he has to do one useful thing in the sea, apparently.
Yeah. We're bringing our Bacchus wines up to the top of the inventory, which makes sense. We want to have Bacchus wines for Kain. We're going to Bacchus Kain up. We do want to toss the Silk Web out fairly quickly to get Zeromus slowed down, which will give Kain more time. Asuka is berserking a Kain that is already Bacchused. Oh well. Cecil will be able to toss the Silk Web. So this is fine.
Yeah, unfortunately, Double Berserk does not work in this.
No, but Double
game.
Berserk does not work. That is a great nuke target. I think that's who Asuka was hoping that would target. Cecil is going to take a nap. Kain does have the Rune Axe, so I guess we're not going for Drain strats right away. At least I think that's a Rune Axe.
It is a Rune Axe, but unless
it's not great.
Unless the Kain goes down, though, it's not going to be switching to the Drains for a point later on.
Well, Black Hole.
True. Asuka's preserving a bit of MP there because
we might need it. This might be a long fight. Rosal might need every bit of MP she can get, so we're just going to cast a Tier 3 here because it should be strong enough.
Could take some from Kain because Succubus and 30 MP, it's possible.
Yeah, we do have 30 extra MP on Kain, just in case. I mean, Kain's not going to use it.
True, and it's always good to have an MP reserve tank if you can't have any Ethers around. Asuka's timing the nerf.
Yeah, we're going to use the crystal to try and get a nerf here. I think that's timed properly. This will do some damage to Kain, unfortunately, but hopefully he doesn't take so much damage that he goes down to this Big Bang. The Big Bang will be do reduced damage to Rosa and Kain, though. So Rosa will survive, and Kain is fine, so he can keep swinging away. She is probably going to want to heal up, and yeah, we're going to use a Cure 4 because Kain needs a lot of hit points.
Yep, and Cure 4 is up top.
Yeah, it's plenty. On to only 2 party members, Cure 4 is plenty strong for this. We do get a black hole here. We might see just a Berserk go off, or... Oh, we are going to life up Cecil. I assume this is just to be an extra nuke target, potentially. I don't imagine Cecil's going to be doing anything else.
Timing out where that crystal's gonna be for the Zerk. That's nerf.
Yeah, we're just making sure that it's timed properly. There's that nerf. And Cecil will be able to heal. I don't think we'll be able to actually heal them, but we'll be able to heal them up after the Big Bang. Unfortunately, Rosa is gone. That is not good. Rosa does not have enough magic defense to survive that that nuke, and the Big Bang comes out and takes Cecil out. So now it's Kain versus Zeromus.
I don't think enough damage has been done where this is going to be able to get through, but there's a virus.
Virus comes out. That's just 400 damage. We're fine. We are going to get a black hole at some point, but it's going to be very tight. We might pivot to Drain Sword strats here. We might have to pivot to Drain Sword strats. There are Cure 3s, so we can Cure 3 Kain up. Kain can survive unnerfed Big Bangs. He's guaranteed to survive at full health. Not by a lot, but he is guaranteed to survive even in 9 roll. We might also just jump the Big Bangs, although I think Zeromus is a little bit fast to be doing that after the shake. Yeah. Jump takes a fixed number of ticks no matter what, and it's unfortunately at RA1, Zeromus is acting quite quickly, so jump takes a while. We can always just Cure 3 up though. We should be fine here.
Yep, this is our shake, so let's see. There's a Big Bang.
We're going to revive Rosa. That makes sense. Yeah, we want Rosa back up. Kain should be fine. It was a lot of damage, but he's fine. I don't think the virus comes after this Big Bang. I think the virus is coming up after the next one. Rosa's going to toss a Cure 3 to Kain. Kain's going to heal up Rosa. There's a black hole. Yeah, we're good. Virus will come up after the next Big Bang, so we don't want to be getting through the next Big Bang at low health.
Yep, Cure 3 on Kain.
Yeah, let's just make sure he's at full health. And we're going to Zerk him up again.
So...
we want to focus on the damage for now, I think. We do have a shake. We're going to go for nerf. Will this be timed right? I think that's a little early. I think this nerf is early. Unfortunately.
And
I think Kain needed to get another turn. And it also hit Rosa and did a lot of damage. She might survive. But I do think that nerf was just a touch early. There's our Big Bang. Is this nerfed? No, that is not nerfed.
With virus coming out?
Virus is coming out this time. I've been keeping track. This is a virus phase. Unless I think we tipped, which is not good because that means we're getting another Big Bang without a black hole.
Yep. Oof.
So yeah, I don't think this is going to be a win, unfortunately.
No. Ugh.
We do have a 9th place finisher off stream. BG Rich has finished with a time of 2 hours, 21 minutes, and 5 seconds. So GG's to him. And Asuka is considering her options.
Gonna go back in for another try.
I mean,
Unfortunately,
I think could have actually gotten through it there, just got unfortunate with that timing of that nerf. Toss the crystal out just a little bit too early.
I just won ticket in this case, I think.
Yeah, it's tricky. Rosa is not quite at the HP where she's really safe to survive an unnerfed Big Bang. But at the same time, if Rosa takes the nuke, she's probably not surviving a nerfed Big Bang.
I'd say give it 1 or 2 more attempts, maybe. Okay. Alright, so Asuka's gonna go give it another try.
Yep, we will see how she fares in this fight. I do think that she can get through this fight with her party as is. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be easy. But I do think that it is possible and that she can do it. I honestly think with a few more Bacchus, I would consider just leaning into the Drain sword and not worrying about other people. But I think with the limited quantity of Bacchus, I think the strategy of get through a bunch of damage early on and switch to the Drain sword as a last resort makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I definitely think so, and it's just a little bit of a shame that Asuka doesn't have the White Spear available on this one, and it's like it's just right next door.
Yeah, there's a White Spear so close.
I do understand not checking the treasury. You're 2 hours and a half into this thing, and just over with.
Yeah, we're starting with the Rune Axe, which is good for damage, better for damage definitely than the Drain Spear. It'll do a lot more damage, or than the Drain Sword. Does about double the damage,
I mean,
which is
my favorite part about her, what she's doing is she's making Kain literally show off that, hey, I actually do damage. And crystal swords are nice and all, but Kain's that nice Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, Kain is. Kain can get through this.
And Asuka is walling the Kain this time around.
Yeah, that will just protect him from nukes. So, might get the reflect on the nuke. We'll see. This nuke unfortunately hits Rosa, although Rosa's going to be able to cure 3 herself up, I think. Because we don't have... The timing is not as tight on the first nerf, so we're able to do the nerf early enough that Rosa can heal herself right back up.
Yep, and on Kain, the wall will help if we get to viruses. They knock out.
Yeah, it'll keep them safe. I mean, the wall will not last until the virus phase. We're going to see a black hole before then, but it will keep him safe from any counter nukes. Although now we just have to heal up Rosa instead of healing Kain. We're going to have to toss Cure 3 pots to heal him. But we're chewing through this. Kain's doing almost 2,000 damage a round. He's getting work done. Like, we are getting through this fight. As long as Kain is swinging and dealing damage, we are making progress.
There's a shake.
He is healed, so we should be fine. I think
in time.
I'm not sure that she gets it in time, but she might. She does. So that will be a nerf. Rosa might take a nuke here, which would be unfortunate, but we got lucky. It bounced off of Kain's wall. That's 2,000 extra damage, which is honestly quite nice. That's an extra hit, essentially, from Kain, which we will take.
Yep, and right into the Big Bangs. I mean, that was like literally down to the tick.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's how you have to do it. You have to nerf pretty much right before the Big Bang. You will not get a chance to do anything. Now, there will be a black hole coming out here, so we're going to wait for that. That will take away Kain's wall. So now we're going to heal up with a Cure 4, because Kain is no longer has a wall up on him.
It looks like it was single targeted.
No, that was a AoE.
Okay, my screen was not showing me that.
Kain's going to Berserk. We might throw the wall up, we might not. I'm not sure. It looks like she's considering it, but I think we're gonna just hold back and set up a nuke here. Set up the nerf. Yep, queue it up after that, after the swing. Kain does a swing. Rosa should get the crystal off here in time. She does. That's another successfully nerfed Big Bang. Kain is going to take the counter nuke. That's not great. That was a lot of damage. Kain might be down, but Rosa is alive. Kain is fine. We have a very small amount of time here to heal him before the virus. But we are going to get the Cure 4 off because Kain got a turn there, so Kain will buffer us over to Rose's turn. We're healed.
This is
Virus comes out. Just a tiny bit of damage. Not threatening now that we're at full health, but could have taken out Kain. We're gonna heal up the virus just to make sure that Rosa is as safe as possible. Kain has still been dealing a decent amount of damage every turn. He's still trying to take out this Zeromus. We're going to use another Bacchus wine here.
Yep, there are 3 left, so...
Yep, we're going to put a wall up on Kain this time. It does get off before the shake. As long as Rosa gets her turn back up quickly. I don't think we're going to be able to nerf this, though.
We might. That looks like
we might. It's very tight. Rosa has to get the crystal off right now. She does. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Asuka needed to get into that menu on Rosa before Kain got a turn. And unfortunately, Rosa does take the counter nuke. And that's... No, she's not surviving. Unfortunately, Rosa is gone.
I think this might have actually tipped over.
I think we tipped. Rosa got a turn, which means we tipped, so we actually are okay. Rosa's going to heal herself up. Yeah, get some hit points back on Rosa.
And back to the shake.
Hopefully Rosa gets the turn here. We need to get into the menu immediately. Toss the crystal. Kain will buffer out this crystal, so we do get this nerf. Once again, Rosa takes the nuke. That's just really unfortunate RNG, and Rosa is down. But Kain will survive. We should get a black hole after this.
And it was nerfed, so that's helpful.
Yeah. We should get a black hole here. We're going to want to revive Rosa because there is another nuke coming out after this black hole. And I'm not sure Kain can survive the nuke.
Come on, lucky dice.
Here's the nuke. We just have to tank it and hope. Kain survives. Kain is alive. After the nuke, there's actually a pretty decent amount of time, so we should have time to get Rosa back up here and heal up. The game developers wanted to give you they were like, nuke is a scary spell. We want to make sure that you have a decent amount of time to recover here. So you get plenty of time to heal up. Kain will be able to get zerked up again before this big bang comes out. Though we do have to make it through 2 big bangs now without a black hole. We're gonna wait.
Is this early?
No, we're fine. She waited until after Kain had finished swinging, so Rosa wasn't going to get it in before Kain's next swing. Unfortunately, we hit Rosa again. Rosa kind of needs to not take this much damage. Rosa's down, and we cannot nerf the next big bang.
Which
is an 8 roll. And fortunately, it's just an 8 roll, but that's going to be rough for Kain to survive, since Kain is also likely going to have to survive the nuke after it. We really need the HP to tip here.
There's a shake. Oh.
Yeah, this is not great for Asuka, unfortunately. I think once we get into this phase, the Drain Sword might actually be better here, just for these cases where, just to make sure that Kain can get HP. Because yeah, that big bang took him out. But we're gonna go back in and try again.
Third time is the charm.
Well, it does look like because decided that is enough of that. GG's Asuka. Oh my goodness, what a.
To be fair, I could have forfeited after Dwarf, and I wouldn't have cared.
I mean, this was a CTM.
Honestly, okay, here's the thing. And this is why I mentioned chat, or in the race room. I'm about to throw down a gauntlet of shade. I am guessing I'm the only participant that actually read the homework assignment, and that this was the Kain Redemption Tour, not the Kain, but actually let Cecil get another stupid glowy stick so he can do buffo damage on the Seed Redemption Tour, but not really Redemption Tour.
I mean, Kain could have helped. There was a white spear in the treasure.
I'm sorry.
There were multiple. There were so many Kain weapons in the treasury.
It's also, I saw the light sword. I saw the Excal. I'm like, okay, everyone's gonna do the Cecil strats.
Mm-hmm.
There were 2 crystal swords too.
And nobody cares about those. Like, here's the thing, and this is why I'm totally happy with how this turned out. I saw the light sword, and like 99% of the people that play this game competitively play it the same way. I knew where they were going. Needless to say, I'm the 1% that eschews meta and says, okay, I'm not going to Ordeals. I'm willing to bet, and this is the ultimate shade, that I was the only one that had the audacity, the gall, and the Globe 99s to do what I did at Dwarf Castle.
Yes.
It was so fun!
That was amazing. I do have to say. I mean, you had what you needed to get through it.
Well, it's like, since we had the magma key, I'm like, okay, I'm someone that likes peeking for information. Yes, it's not like the optimal thing to do for speed strats, but I like knowing stuff. And I hate going to dwarf. And I saw Gulpez there. I'm like, okay, a Star Veil, and I can get through that. So let's get some levels. Let's see what's behind Kain. I was like, oh, that's an Odin. This is actually free, even if I miss the Thunderstruck.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
Odin doesn't do that much damage there.
No, it's just I needed the virus to hit Cecil.
Yes.
And that's why I was like, okay, the first time didn't go so well. The second and third time, it hit Kain directly. I'm like, okay, we are not leaving here until this Odin dies. I don't care about anything else. I don't care about the rest of the scene.
Yeah.
Odin dies now.
It comes in that same thing when you met the Veil at the
Probably
beginning.
with his starting strike, probably went to Ordeals early, so...
He went to Ordeals like super, super early, and Val was really rude.
You have a Kain!
Val is still really rude when she's just as fast as you.
Yeah, it took
Keep
him...
Cecil dead, give him a curse ring, go have fun.
Well, it didn't. That was over 10 minutes on Cub's side on getting through that. And then found out there was the hug there on Wyvern, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, Hugvern surprised some folks.
See, that's why you have to do the immediate hack and fluff Wyvern strats of the moment you see a sparkle, get ready to like go immediately into the item menu and panic. I was like, honestly, it was just one of those. Okay, I think if you followed a more meta way of doing the seed, I could see the seed being tough. But if you like, I honestly didn't find that seed terribly difficult, but I do things very borked words. So it's like when I got to the moon, I'm like, I honestly, by the time I got to the moon, I'm like, I'm surprised people aren't finishing. Like, I was derping around and doing silly stuff. Y'all are probably like at Z already. But as soon as I started seeing the finishes and kind of metaing based off the finishes, I'm like, okay, looking at the people winning, it's probably behind something a little rude. And then as soon as I saw the Kanatsu, I'm like, most people would fade this. I'm not going to because it's probably there. But I need some levels first. That's why I went in there at first to see how much a wave would do. And I'm like, okay, I'm like one key item shy. Let me go somewhere else. Vanilla Plague, I'm like, that's an easy one to Star Veil and snore past. And then I saw the imps in the trench coat. I'm like, there were coffins up here. I don't need to grind anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, if you'd kept going to the Masa altar, you absolutely don't need to grind anymore. Because it was a gauntlet.
Just buy Star Veils.
Yeah, that's fair.
it's I don't know. I actually, that one doesn't bug me as much as the discount dollar store Plague, because I have beef with Plague.
Oh yes, no, the Crystal Sword Gauntlet is so much. Why does that thing have 25,000 hit points?
Nope.
Why does it need 25,000 hit points? It doesn't.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It has way too many hit points.
Yeah, no, it really shouldn't.
For not a boss. Like, I get the Evil Mask. I expect it to have hit points. The Evil Mask has like a weakness you can take advantage of.
Exactly.
And the dragons do too. Like, they're all easy. And the Behemoth is really easy.
And that blob of
the
fake
Fatal,
Plague.
I just like, no.
Why?
It's just terrible.
I hate that thing. Plus, again, it's a Plague adjacent, so therefore not a fan.
Yeah.
But all I know is, considering I quite literally haven't played a seed in, oh boy, Maybe since the end of last year. Maybe in January or February.
Oh,
Quite
wow.
a scene to be welcome back to then.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, I'm glad that I can still do my silly strats. Like I can still nerf.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised that Double Big Bang came out when it did. Like that's
Well, you tipped over into the next phase, and so
yeah, that's true. Like I was expecting another nuke.
I think you could have gotten through it with the gear you had. I think you just needed to swap to the Drain Sword at that point.
But that time he was already Zerked, so it was just like, oh.
Yeah, no, I think it was just like.
Yeah,
I mean, also with more Bacchus, it's just like you can go in with the Drain Sword and not have to worry about running out.
Well, and that's why I was looking for the Drain Spear and Drain Sword. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
my whole purpose of doing this was to do Drain strats. And I'm like, the more I thought about it, I'm going, I always hear Drain Avenger strats.
Yes.
Crap, I don't have an Avenger sword.
No.
It's like
and the only Avenger we saw was behind the pink tail from Keyless Tower.
I thought about going to Keyless Tower too.
It was the vanilla Dr. Luge holding the pink tail.
Oh jeez.
Which was an Avenger.
I'm not gonna lie, I laughed so hard when I saw that hook come out of Rat Tail. Or not the rat, the hook
Dwarf,
that came out of Dwarf. I was like, I don't care if this is the worst chain ever. This is my chain. I'm gonna stick to it. We're gonna see where it leads. Keep coming.
Yeah. I mean, the Bacchus and the Hourglass were great.
Yeah, it was fun. But no, I'm glad I can still do some of my cheeky things, which makes me really happy. Because, yeah, I've learned my place. I'm not here to race to win. We have plenty of people that are actually good. They can race to win. I'm just here to do the silly things that racing to win doesn't allow people to do. And you know what?
Adds spice to the restreams. That's
absolutely.
Yeah, that was a fun Z fight though. I think I might tinker with it once the stream's done.
It was definitely close, and I was saying this is not going to be a pleasant Z fight. It's not going to be an easy Z fight, but it is a doable Z fight.
Yeah, that one nerf on Rosa, she had like 60 HP. I'm going, either this is somehow gonna work, or I'm gonna come up just shy because ooh, that was fun though.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, yeah, that's all I got. I had fun.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and let you go because I need to go eat.
Mood, same.
You have the same problem, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I'm a little. I had a little snack earlier, but that snack is going. This is not enough. Feed the big chocobo. Feed the pink puff.
I did not even do that. I came straight home from working the gym, and it's like, I figured, how long does this possibly go?
Oh boy.
Then you realized you had me on restream. You're like, oh,
it was entertaining at the very least.
It was more the seed. I mean, I don't mind you. We're out here, Oscar. You're fun.
I don't make things simple. That's for heckin' sure.
If they were simple, no one would watch this.
Fair. But yeah, that was fun. I'm gonna go back to giving myself scares and feed myself and then work on some more speedruns because
Yep, time for mac and cheese, I think, in this case.
That was my snack.
That's be my dinner. I don't have time for anything else.
I got one of those like kid-sized cup ones.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not saying we're the same person, however.
No, I'm just reacting because like mac and cheese is like always my dinner.
Right? It's a good thing. It's a simple dish that you can add a lot of fun stuff to.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like the Taco Bell like hot sauce. Great.
I might try that just because you mentioned it.
What about the fire sauce though?
I have the fire sauce, thank you. I save that for a special occasion, aka when I make tacos.
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to be trying to sleep with needing an acid.
Fair.
Well,
I think I may have some literally right there.
Daphnis, they need food. I need food.
Go then.
I think before we get too off topic and end up talking about food for half an hour, I think we should go ahead and call it a night for our restream here on Free Enterprise. But the Free Enterprise action is not over yet. We're going to be sending y'all over to Tall Grant, who is running the Sumomo Async R5DCBD, the currently active Sumomo Club Async. Just so you know, but to avoid that, if you would like to not be spoiled.
Yeah, such as if you haven't run it yet and are in the club.
Yes. But until then, I've been Xenocat, joined in the booth by Dathis on Restream, Glaren on comms, Fiery Blizzard doing an amazing job on tracking our wonderful runners, John Burkhead, Cubs Rule 21, Y2 Sky, and Asuka, who is still in the booth with us.
Ew.
Have a good night, everyone.
And get ready for Pink Puff League in a little bit to fruit with us.
Yeah. First flags are dropping this week. Whee!